It's 6 o'clock. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines. Experts say the St Albans sinkhole was on the site of an old clay mine. Investigations continue into a fatal explosion at Hoddesdon, and shoppers charged for plastic bags from this morning.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
An old clay mine is the cause of a 60-foot wide sinkhole which has appeared in St Albans. Experts from British Geological Survey have been examining the hole, which opened up overnight in Fontmell Close on Thursday. Ollie Bayliss reports.
Experts have confirmed that the St Albans street has been built over an old Victorian brickworks, which have left underground holes where clay has been mined. They believe that a thin layer of chalk supporting the street is likely to have been eroded away by water, causing the road to collapse last Thursday.
Police are continuing to question a man following an explosion in Hoddesdon which killed 2 people. The blast took place at an industrial unit on Saturday afternoon. Catherine Boyle reports.
Emergency services were called to the unit on Plumpton Road, where they found 3 men injured. They were taken to hospital, but one in his 40s and another in his 30s later died. A third man, who's in his 20s with minor injuries, has now been discharged. A 40-year-old man from Hoddesdon's been arrested on suspicion of health and safety offences and manslaughter by gross negligence.
Police are appealing for witnesses to a fatal accident at Gosmore near Hitchin yesterday morning. The crash, involving a single blue Peugeot, took place on Preston Road in the early hours. A second person who was in the car is being treated in hospital. A woman from Chesham whose relatives fled Syria has written to the government asking for help to bring them to the UK. Najua Huiji has an aunt and cousins living in a refugee camp in Lebanon. She told Three Counties Radio she's doing all she can to get them here.
We have sent letters to the Home Office, and we represented our petition to the local MP Cheryl Gillen, and we sent in a letter to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to try and get my families selected.
Shoppers will have to pay at least 5 pence for plastic bags at supermarkets and large shops from this morning. The government hopes it will cut their use by 80%. Fintan Hastings is from the British Retail Consortium.
We've already seen a significant drop in the number of plastic bags used in England since 2006. We've gone down by about a third, so we are seeing progress. But if we want to see the major progress we've seen in the other parts of the UK, between 70 and 80% reductions, a charge seems to be the way to go based on experience there.
In sport, Liverpool have sacked manager Brendan Rodgers after 3.5 years in charge. Watford drew 1-1 with Bournemouth in the Premier League, while the MK Dons got a draw in the Championship. It was another victory for Luton Town in League 2, but defeat for Wycombe Wanderers and Stevenage. The weather will be windy and cloudy with rain for most of the day. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/Three Counties.
I'm a truck. I'm a truck. Say, mister, are you a truck? Yeah, I'm a truck. Can I have a ride? Sure, hop in. Oh, I'm a truck. I'm a truck. Say, mister, you ride good. Mind if I turn on the radio? Go ahead. Now the chart topper on this week's Top 30 Countdown. I'm a truck. I'm a truck.
Morning. Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. I come to a wounded, nay, a dying studio. Nothing works, dear listener, nothing works. It's only cost you, let me just hang on a second, £25 million of your licence fee to pay for this. The one that was built with Lego works better than this. Nothing's working. Apart from me, twice as hard as usual. Busy show this morning. The question on everyone's lips is, what have you put your hand in that you'd rather you didn't?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
That's the question on everybody's lips. I'll tell you why, he said as he frantically fiddled with his iPod. And now there's an echo in here as well. Fun times. Can you hear the echo? Is it just me hearing an echo?
It's just you.
Okay, right. Well, that makes it all the better. So this weekend, the downstairs toilet, luxury, 2 dumpers.
No, you don't do that downstairs. That's the rule of my house.
No, you don't. I'll tell you why. Because there's a window out onto the world, okay, frosted glass.
Yeah.
You can see through frosted glass.
Yes, you can.
You may not be able to see exact measurements and girth, but you can see bits and pieces. You can certainly see a man pull down his trousers and sit down for 5 or 10 minutes.
God, how long is this window? Normally it's just a little tiny one at the
Oh,
top.
it's the full McCoy.
Wow.
It's the full McCoy.
So you're a picture window.
It's not even a phrase. But the boys like to. And anyway. It was blocked, okay? It's been blocked all weekend, and I was kind of had a list of things to do, and one of those things to... You sure you can't hear that dull echo?
No.
Flip this! One of the things to do was to unblock this toilet, and it was. I'm going to turn those off. There we go.
Is that what it's doing?
Hang on a second, let me talk. Yeah, that was what I was doing. For some reason, those speakers are doing something they shouldn't do. There's a surprise. I look forward to it being fixed once I've left. So I had to... Right up to the top. The water was right up to the top. And you'll get this, Shags.
Yeah.
There were stools floating around.
Oh.
I mean, it was full on.
Train spotting.
I did it with a toilet brush. But all that did was ruin a toilet brush. That went in the bin. Couldn't use marigolds because marigolds only just go past your wrist. They would have filled up.
Ugh.
It would have filled up. So I had to just go. Yeah. Sleeve rolled up to the shoulder, arm down there, and I was making a fist. Because I had no plunger. You're right, I'm not going to say it, but that's what I was doing. I had no plunger, so I had to create a vacuum.
Wow.
I learnt this technique. Things you've learnt from Hollywood superstars. I learnt this technique of unblocking a toilet from, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mahoney himself from the Police Academy movies. Steve Guttenberg taught me this. Steve Guttenberg, in a Japanese restaurant, taught me how to unblock a toilet using just my fist. And I did. You make a fist, you make sure it fills the gap, and you let's use the word punch. I was punching a toilet to try and extract faeces. Good morning. I hope you're enjoying your breakfast. Haters gonna hate. And it took 15 minutes.
Good
And I
grief.
could smell it. I was breathing it. It was disgusting. 15 minutes. But, ladies and gentlemen, I did it.
James Herriot, right there.
I remember the scene. That was a cow, though, not a toilet.
Well, still a pipe.
03459 455 555. What? Oh, Jen, sod off. I just go, Jen. Do you know what, Jen? I'm blocking your texts. Go
Bye-bye.
away. You're a horrible, nasty little woman. So that was Saturday. This morning, I dropped, and I'm sorry to go on a lavatorial bench so early on, but I did a wee-wee in the toilet. It was a toilet that had been full of wee-wee all night. Go a couple of times. I'm an old man. And I had my watch between my teeth as I was urinating. And I felt my mouth stumble and it went in there.
Why were you holding your watch in your mouth? How are you going to tell the time that way?
Well, anyway, suffice to say, my hand went straight in there. I thought nothing of it. 03459 455 555. What have you put your hand in that you'd rather you not? Oh, and Dealey's back from the brink of death.
They said you're not normal, why don't you sing R&B? I said I got no rhythm and I got no blues, I'm as happy as can be. They said how can you not bop to hip-hop? I said I most certainly do. Did you not see me dancing the other night like the girls on Channel U? Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the video, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock.
Just bear with me. Can you hear me? No, it's another thing.
They say why'd you wear a shirt and tie? Now that's a bit bizarre. I said I like to look good when I go on stage, strumming my guitar. I like to sing my songs about real life things like good times and romance, and I prefer to do it in my skinny jeans and minuscule hot pants.
Every man has his technique,
Cause this baby got no back.
and they're all different.
Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the videos, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock
Morning, guys. Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio, 03459 455 555. He's back from... He's stared death in the face, and Justin Dealey is back. And we will speak to him later on. But boy, oh boy, isn't it great to have... what's his name?
Justin, and do you know what? He's smelling amazing.
He smells amazing, like a sexy lady boy. He really does. And they do smell amazing, which is what makes them one of the reasons they're so attractive. Now, last week, a 60-foot sinkhole appeared in a street in St Albans. Police are looking into it. Guys, anybody?
Yeah, it was a good one.
I mean, but come on, that really...
it was excellent.
Let's just try that on Shags. Shags?
Yep.
I don't know if you heard this story.
No.
Last week, a 60-foot sinkhole appeared in a street in St Albans. Police are looking into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I mean, that's just... let's try that again. Let's hang on, let me just try this with the audience. The audience are queuing up outside. Let's usher them in and let's see what they have to say. OK, audience, are you ready? Last week, a 60-foot sinkhole appeared in a street in St Albans. Police are looking into it. Wow, tough crowd. Tough crowd.
It's early. It's early.
And Steve Boothby and Wendy Rowe are leading those guys. We've worked out why, though. Turns out that Fontmell Close was built over a Victorian brickworks with clay pits left unfilled. Catherine Boyle has got more. Catherine, you have been looking into this. Oh, guys, come on.
Yeah. Around 1:30am on Thursday morning, this 60-foot wide crater opened up in Fontmell Close in St Albans.
Yes.
10 metres deep. Appeared in the road, meaning that it happened in the road so that no houses collapsed. So that was good news.
Phew.
However, it did cut off their water, gas and electricity supplies for more than 50 properties. The people who were evacuated to a nearby community centre were told it could take weeks before they can get home.
A whisper in the office is that we've been speaking to the British Geological Survey about it. Is that true?
The whisper's correct.
What have they said?
They've been looking into this since Thursday.
Oh, they like it when you do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
All right.
They're saying that these houses, which were built in the 1970s, have been built on top of an old brickworks, which date back to Victorian times, and the underground holes where clay has been mined has just been covered over.
Oh.
Geologists believe that a relatively thin layer of chalk was all that was supporting the road, and this is likely to have eroded by water from a burst drain or a leaking pipe, which is why the road collapsed in such a dramatic fashion. We've also been told that the sinkhole is not actually a sinkhole. A giant hole is caused by man-made factors. It's technically called a crown hole rather than a sinkhole.
Let's get this right. It's a crown hole. The hole is crowning. The hole is not sinking.
No, which is formed naturally a sinkhole.
So what's happening with this? Remind me of the term? Crown hole. What's happening with this crown hole?
Well, on Friday, 77,000 litres of quick-drying concrete were poured into this crown hole to try to stabilise it. And they're not playing games here.
No.
A further 100,000 litres of concrete was poured in on Saturday and was left to set yesterday. And Herts County Councils tell us that today a further 100,000 litres of foam concrete brought in by lorries, in case you were wondering, will be poured in. They're hopeful that later this week that utility services will be restored to much of the street, although they say it will still be weeks before people can return to their homes directly around that crown hole.
You had a question, right? And I'm assuming that we know this, what with us having spoken to what I'm now calling the BGS, the Big Friendly Giant, British Geological Survey. Are there other holes in that street?
There might well be.
Well, no, hang on. Is that there might well be, or there are?
They're saying that it was built over brickworks and there are more than one.
You're surmising. You're surmising. Are you surmising?
I am.
You're shrugging.
Ask Shags, because Shags looked at the original map.
Hey, Shaggy.
Hello.
Oh, Shaggy. What you gonna do, Shaggy? Are there more holes? Are there more? No. Are there more brickwork mines?
There are more brickwork mines. Basically, it's that whole area.
He's using his finger to draw a hole, just to help you guys.
I can't remember the name of the area. It's
St
been a long
Albans.
weekend.
St Albans is built over a giant clay pit.
North St Albans, there are a couple of brickworks. One which is directly underneath Fontmell Close. There's another one to the west of it, but there's only a couple there.
So are you saying that there are definitely going to be more crown holes this week opening up?
I'm not saying that.
Because that would be terrifying if you were.
The Geological Survey want to look at what's been going on, and I know the University of Hertfordshire are going to be looking at the surrounding area as well.
Thank you very much indeed, Shaggy. Much appreciated. 03459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The northbound A1M closed this morning between junctions 9 and 10, Letchworth up to Stotfold because of a police incident. It's been closed off since around 2 o'clock this morning. Norton Road between Icknield Way and Norton Berry Lane, and Norton's also closed. And we understand that there is a diversion still in place, taking the A505 east, then the B197 into Baldock, right at the end of the High Street towards Royston, and then left onto Station Road, and then north back to the A1M at junction 10. Now the westbound A414, that's also closed this morning towards the M1 from the Park Street roundabout. That's where the closure point is after a serious accident that happened just after 2 o'clock this morning. M25 anti-clockwise already queues 21 to 19 round towards Watford. The southbound M1 looking heavy on the sensors passing Toddington services. No reported problems though for trains this morning. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
James, thank you so much. I mean, we're sincerely thanking you. 03459 455 555. You can call us about what you've put your hand in. And give us a call about anything you want, to be honest. You know, we're very, very slack here. 6:16. It's Monday, the 5th of October. We're all going to die. Not today. That's not the news headline. I just mean, just think about it. At some point, guys, it's game over. These are the headlines. Experts say a sinkhole in St Albans was on the site of an old clay mine. Police are still questioning a man following an explosion in Hoddesdon which killed 2 people. And all large shops will begin charging for plastic carrier bags from this morning. And that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?
Make yourself happy on BBC One.
We've witnessed the highs.
The flavour of the peak.
No, we're not. Come on, we're not. We don't. Listen, guys. I know we're all one BBC, Catherine, but we don't...
Wow.
You're right. What?
Bake yourself happy. Sounds filthy.
No. We're all one BBC, but the day that Paul Hollywood or Claudia Van Winkleman do trails for this show on their shows, then we'll do trails on this show for their shows.
I don't think they need our help.
They don't need... Listen, if we don't play the trail for... I thought the Bake Off had finished.
No.
I thought the controversial Muslim woman had won, and the other woman didn't win because she didn't, quote Daily Mail, make a chocolate mosque.
No.
That's an actual Daily Mail thing.
It's outrageous, isn't
Maybe
it?
if she made a chocolate mosque, she would have stood a better chance.
Maybe if she hadn't muffed up repeatedly, she'd have been all right.
When have you muffed up repeatedly? 03459 455 555.
Welcome to my
So the
world.
Bake Off still goes on?
Yeah.
No. On this, listen, they're not going to lose. What that gets? What, like 12 million viewers or
about
something?
bazillion, yeah.
They don't need us. What they need, of course, is a track from the first Gene Simmons solo album, and that's what they're going to get. This. Do you know what? The more I think about it, the more I love that song.
It's good.
It's nice. It's Gene Simmons from Kiss trying to be the Beatles.
It does sound a bit George Harrison-y.
Do you want to know? I love that album. I did go through a big Kiss thing. We talked about this on Saturday show, and we can do this again today. Great moments in rock. And I'll tell you why that's a great moment in rock, because Kiss, one of the biggest bands in America at the time, and they're thinking, we want to make more money. We want dollar. We want more dollar. And if we release an album, we're going to get dollar. We want more dollar. And they all went kind of at the same time, I know how to do this. If we all release, there's 4 of them, if we all release a solo album on the same day, we'll all get 4 times the money than if we just released a Kiss album. They released the 4 solo albums all at the same time, the same day. They sold about 26 copies of all. And then the Kiss machine started collapsing around their ears.
You told me that half of Kiss were coked up their eyeballs.
Half were. And surprisingly, the guy that was coked up the most delivered the best album.
It was his idea, you see.
Well, the Gene Simmons album is a treat. This is how because Gene Simmons at the time, Kiss was still a mystery. No one knew what Kiss looked like. They'd never been seen without their makeup, apart from one competition. They did a brilliant competition, right, where there were going to be 10 winners, and the 10 winners won a brown envelope. Okay, brown. This is before Snapchat, guys. Kiss invented Snapchat. They had a brown envelope, and they opened the envelope, and there was a picture of all 4 members of Kiss without their makeup on, and they're going, "Whoa, this is awesome!" But after 5 minutes, the picture faded to nothing.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's
Snapchat.
very cool.
Is that Snapchat?
Yeah,
I send Shaggy a picture of my winkle and it disappears.
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Every time.
What, in real life? Or? Why was the makeup thing? Is it because they're just okay looking blokes, but they weren't hot?
They were really into 2 bands. Kiss were influenced by Slade and the New York Dolls, and the New York Dolls were a lot of makeup, and they just took it to the. They'll say it's all to do with Japanese.
Kabuki or whatever.
Thank you very much
indeed,
because I nearly flipped the older. Say it again.
Kabuki.
Thank you very much indeed. It's not. Let me just copy it anyway. But it's great because now they can never age. They're all in their late 60s. They look the same.
Gene Simmons is doing his best.
Well, yeah, but with the makeup on, they look the same. The makeup and the wigs, they look the same. It's not even the same drummer and guitarist. You don't know that. They look the same.
Genius.
03. But anyway, the point was, Gene Simmons was perceived as being kind of like the devil. Everyone, people thought that Kiss stood for Knights in Satan's Service, right? They did. And so Gene Simmons was perceived as being this kind of dark satanic figure,
He
right?
had a very long tongue.
Before we knew, there were rumours that he'd had a cow's tongue transplanted. The 70s are great, weren't they? That was a thing that people thought. Before we knew that, actually there were shysters and shucksters.
Careful.
Hucksters, shysters and hucksters who were just after your buck, okay? Before we knew that, everyone thought they were like demons and stuff like that. And so they expected the Gene Simmons album to be like dark, satanic kind of thing. This is how the Gene Simmons album starts, right? And so everyone thought, oh, God, yeah. Gene's was the biggest seller, I think, the second biggest seller. And it was like, oh, yeah, this is really satanic. This is, flipping heck, this is, God, this is scary. And it gets scarier.
Oh.
This is people going, wow, this is actually, Gene's, this rocks, man. So you put this on and go, flipping it. This is Sanctum.
Saying suck.
They did have an album called Suck My Kiss. So they're going, everyone's going, wow, this is really satanic. This is dark, man. Quick, turn the lights off, draw the pentagram, get the candles lit, and then... Oh, it's soft rock. Oh, soft rock, I see, right.
Oh, it's all right.
Soft rock, hang on. Great rhyme. I told you years ago I used to present a very rude show called the 11 o'clock show on television, and I was in hospital and I was in a lot of pain. And I was about to have an injection of sweet, sweet morphine into my bum. And as the guy was flicking the needle, he said, "You're that bloke off the telly, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes!" I went, "Yeah." You had a picture of me, and underneath you had the caption "Lazy Scrounger."
Oh.
Then he rudely inserted his needle into my bottom, and boy oh boy, it was one of the most unpleasant things I've ever had done to my bottom. Justin, we'll talk more about your brush with death later on. It's good to have you back. You're fit and well, yeah?
I'm fit and well, boss.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
95%. Yes.
Okay, we're going to have more insight into Justin Dealey's hospital diary coming up later on. But before that, Justin, it's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about a woman who's hitting out at Central Beds Council for refusing to help her charge her mobility scooter. At the moment, Teresa Howe has to drop a cable. Oh, hang on, has to drop an extension cable, out of her council flat window. You right, Kath?
Yeah.
The council's refusing to install an outside socket, saying it's not part of their general day-to-day budget. Dealey, tell us why this socket is so important.
This socket is so important because Teresa has a number of disabilities, which include arthritis, asthma. She lives in a central Bedfordshire Council property in Dunstable. Now, what she did, she bought a mobility scooter to give herself more independence, to allow her, for argument's sake, to take her dog for a walk. So she keeps this scooter outside the building, and she has to then get up to the stairs to get into the flat. Now, as the council had already installed a stair lift for her and a wet room, which is very, very nice. She just assumed that they would be installing an outside socket to allow her to safely charge her mobility scooter up. Well, at the moment, she has to charge it by running a cable out of her door and through an upstairs window, so she's not happy.
We all know what assume makes out of both you and me. What happened when she approached the council then?
Well, at first it seemed like things would be straightforward. Central Bedfordshire Council sent out an area maintenance surveyor to look at the situation. He agreed that the method of charging was not appropriate and agreed that an outside socket was the best solution. However, he said that she'd need to get the go-ahead from the council to get one installed. After hearing nothing for a week, she then called the council and they told her that the council couldn't then install the socket.
Flip. The Central Beds Council, what have they said?
Well, we approached the council 3 days ago for an explanation on this. They haven't given us any comment. We were told that a statement had been written, but their press team couldn't get it signed off. Well, maybe you should do. We do, however, have the letter the council wrote to Teresa confirming that she won't get a socket. It says the council, unfortunately, do not supply sockets for scooters under the general day-to-day budget.
Justin, we'll speak more. Could you take it to the street? What have you put your hand in? That
yes,
you'd rather
absolutely.
not have, please. Tread delicately. Tread delicately. Justin, great to have you back. We'll speak more in a bit. 03459 455 555. I'd like your thoughts on that one. The council provided a wet room. They've provided loads and loads of things. A charging socket outside? I don't know.
I guess we've got an ageing population. It will get used in the future.
Why do Asians need it more than others?
Ageing.
I'm so sorry. These headphones are not particularly clear this morning. 03459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Number of problems already this morning. The northbound A1M closed between junctions 9 and 10, Letchworth to Stopfold with a police incident. It's been closed off since earlier this morning at around 2 o'clock. The closure went in and there is a diversion in place. A414 south of St Albans, now it's closed westbound from the Park Street roundabout up to the M1 for accident investigation work. There's a diversion south down the A405 and then back onto the M1 from junction 6. Now the anti-clockwise M25 is partially blocked at 20. There's an accident at the Kings Langley turn-off. Thanks to Paul for his update. Queues from 21 already, so worse than usual obviously on that anti-clockwise M25, and trains looking good, no reported problems. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines. Experts say a large sinkhole which appeared on a street in St Albans is on the site of an old clay mine. Work will continue this morning to fill it. Police are continuing to question a man following an explosion in Hoddesdon which killed 2 people. The blast took place at an industrial unit in Plumpton Road. And shoppers will have to pay at least 5 pence for plastic bags at supermarkets and large shops from this morning. The government hopes it will cut their use by 80%. The weather will be windy and cloudy with rain for most of the day. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Liverpool have sacked manager Brendan Rodgers after 3.5 years in charge. The German Jurgen Klopp is seen as the front-runner for the job. Former England striker Iain Wright had this to say about the former Watford boss's departure.
With the Suarez season where he had Suarez and Sterling and Sturridge and Gerrard and Coutinho, and when you've got great players like that, they feed off each other. Great players make other players great around them. I think that's where he was fortunate, and I think that off of the back of that, everything's just gone downhill, and I just think that it was just time.
Watford drew 1-1 with Bournemouth in the Premier League, and the MK Dons got a draw in the Championship. Luton Town secured their 4th win in a row in League Two with a 4-1 victory at Hartlepool. Assistant manager Terry Harris praised his side's goalkeeper.
We're fortunate that we got...
Elsewhere, it was defeat for Wycombe Wanderers and Stevenage. In rugby, England's head coach Stuart Lancaster says he'll decide whether to resign after the World Cup. England were knocked out of the competition after losing to Australia. Ireland are through to the quarter-finals, beating Italy 16-9, but their captain Paul O'Connell says they didn't play that well.
Probably a disappointing performance, very inaccurate. I think we just put too many balls down, and when we do that, we can't play our game and give them a lot of momentum. I think you can't turn over ball to them. Guys like Gorey, Parisa, Luke McLean, they're all excellent players. When you hand them ball on a plate like that, they'll do damage to you, and they nearly did. And it was only for a great try-saving tackle by Peter O'Mahony he kept us in the game.
And that's BBC Three Counties News and Sport with more at 7 o'clock.
Can you make a tune? You can sing a tune? You can play a tune on an instrument? Can you make a tune?
Can't help smiling every time I come. Stardust sparkles flying off my tongue. Most I hear through loving, that's a fact. A little death or maybe a heart attack. Everybody up, no need to come down. Everybody up, no need to come down. I just can't shut up and I can't sit down. My jackass jump until I'm sick of the sound. If I go back to what I was before, I'll be thinking about my situation. Won't stop laughing till I'm dead and gone. Jackknife's worth $1,000,000, pass it on. Yeah, I'm on the hunt for something sweet, like those bubbles bursting off the backbeat. Everybody up, no need to come down. 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 Everybody up,
You don't have enough songs these days where they mess around with the speed, where they slow it down and when they speed it up.
They'll come back.
I hope so, guys. If there are any young disc jockeys out there and you're creating music in your bedroom, like Daniel Bedingfield did, he didn't.
No,
he didn't create that song in his bedroom. What was his song? Not the ballad. What was the ballsy one? What was the one that balls?
Gotta get through this.
I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I've gotta fit a sis. I've gotta fit a sis.
But that bloke, the wheelchair guy,
Wowzers, gosh.
Who sang Get Down, Get Down, that one. He did that in his bedroom, didn't he?
Let me just check can I just check something with Shags? Is that right?
Yeah.
You're right just to wait for just one second. Can I put you on hold?
Yeah.
Shags?
Yeah.
With the BBC?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that wheelchair guy?
We just have.
Thanks very much indeed. Okay, I have no idea.
I don't think that was the name of his band.
Okay, we can... ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Catherine. You stumbled on today's other phone-in. Pop stars in wheelchairs.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of a few. Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters.
Oh, yeah, but he's only temporarily
It doesn't matter. Hey, we're not going to discriminate here, guys. If we're not going to discriminate, they can be in a wheelchair for a short period of time.
Okay.
Reardon McShay.
Sorry?
Reardon O'Reilly?
No.
Reardon O'Deirdre from the Cranberries.
Oh, Dolores O'Riordan.
That's the fella. She famously did Top of the Pops in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
There was a guy who did a cover of I'm a Believer in 1976, and I can't remember his name. He's quite Robert Wyatt. And he has a terrible version of I'm a Believer, but he had quite a big hit with it. And he was on Top of the Pops, and he turned up in the wheelchair, and they went, "Oh, blimey! Well, we've got a nice stool for you to sit on." He said, "Well, why?" He said, "We don't want to see the wheelchair; it'll put people off."
Not showbiz enough.
It's not showbiz enough.
What do they want? Spokey dokies?
03459 455 555. It's genuinely a good one. There's another guy. I think he died. I've got one of his albums, and for years I had a tape of one of his albums, and I thought this is a really avant-garde album because it had like loads of kind of backwards radio playing throughout the whole album. Turns out my sister had just taped it on cheap tape. So what was on the other side? It bled through. Guys, the singer-songwriter Michael Stipe used to rave about him.
Gosh, this is like a conversation with my mum.
What's his name? Not Elliot Gould. No, he was in The Devil and Max Devlin. Vic Chestnut. Oh, you've never heard Vic Chestnut?
No.
You've never... Oh, you'd like Vic Chestnut.
You reckon?
You would like Vic Chestnut. I mean... okay, hang on a second. Hang on one... Oh, no, I cannot play you Vic Chestnut, I'm afraid.
Why?
Because I... Oh, here we go. Oh. Can't play the one I wanted to play. But imagine this with backward radio through it. Listen to it. Here comes the voice. Listen to this voice. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Vic.
Twisting up the pages of history.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
That's nice.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to see if I can get gravity of the situation. It's a downer, but boy, oh boy, what a downer. Speaking of...
Oh.
Wow, Justin's transferred himself to the 1940s and an old, crackly 78 record. Good morning, Justin. Nope. There's no Justin there. There's no Justin there. We'll get Justin... he's over there. Sorry, I'm just going back to an old thing that says on my screen. 03459 455 555. Pop stars in wheelchairs, please, if you'd be so bold. Oh, and by the way, if you've ever seen a pop star injure themselves, ideally by falling off of a stage.
No, I've only seen Paul Simon break a nail. And that was a big palaver.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Paul
he had to go
Simon?
and get it stuck back on.
Paul Simon. Paul Simon, broke my nail. When was that? In Boots?
No, it was at the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham.
The Birmingham NEC.
My mum, my Auntie Sandra and me went to see the Rhythm of the Saints tour.
Oh, no, that rubbish. That rubbish.
Yeah, it was good. And then afterwards, we lost the car and we had to go up to the man, one of the stewards, and say, we can't find our car. And he said to my mum, where have you come from? And she went, well, Manchester originally. He said, no, what direction?
When I was younger, so much younger than today, and let's be honest and say that my life was a little bit cloudy, I would lose my car all the time. I got to the point where I would have to leave the flat 45 minutes early if there was any chance of me finding where on earth I'd parked my car.
My first car was a silver Corsa, like everybody else's.
There we go.
I was always trying to get into other people's cars.
Oh,
Always.
well, I've done that.
The keys work, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they do. But also, I don't. Well, guys, okay. If I know I'm not going to be long, I don't lock my car, right? And so I got into my car, and there was a woman in there, and I went, all right. She went, hello? And I went, yeah. Sorry, what are you doing in my car? She said, no. What are you doing in my car? And I went, oh, flipping heck, I'm so sorry.
You looked round, it was much tidier, there were no twigs.
And I'm now married to that woman. That's not true. Once my divorce comes through, I'm going to marry that woman.
You should. She's got a good car.
She's got a great car.
It's like yours, but clean.
Makes life so much easier. Now, Mary Berry.
Yes. Do you know my favourite thing about Mary Berry?
Berries?
The way she says layers. She doesn't say layers, she says les.
Les. My friends were at a very, very posh wedding. Girlfriend from a long time ago. She wasn't very posh. It was a very, very posh wedding, and they went off for a wander through the grounds and
the grinds,
and they came back and they got a bit lost, and they saw someone who was there, and they said, "Sorry, we've got a bit lost. Where is the wedding party?" And they said, "It's over there by the jazz."
Sorry,
the jazz. And they went, the jazz? What jazz? The jazz! Talking about chairs.
Oh.
Talking about chairs.
Aren't they funny?
Can't you? These posh people. Anyway, Mary Berry. She's wrong on this.
Mary Berry.
She may eat decadent pastries and sponges for a living. She doesn't. She cooks.
She nibbles them.
She nibbles them?
She nibbles.
You said nibbles?
Right. You know Greg Wallace has got a massive spoon?
Has he?
Yeah.
I've heard that rumour.
He's got a massive spoon. Whenever he's tasting something, he gets it's almost a ladle, right? And he almost detaches his jaw to get it down his neck. Honestly.
This is going to be the toughest 15 minutes of your life, he says to his next wife, as they embark on another short marriage. I made myself laugh.
The difference is with Mère Bear that she only just sort of nibbles the end of things, rather than, necks it. Anyway, that was my observation.
People say she's hot. She's not. Anyway, she's...
Do they?
Yeah. She's like in the top 10 FHM...
Grannies, you...
Gilf.
No.
You don't want somebody who's judging cakes to be large, or else people will say, look what happens when you eat cake. She's basically saying you shouldn't be a fat cook. That's incorrect data. I want to see a fat cook. I want fat cooks. It's like when I get my hair cut, I want someone who's got rubbish hair to cut my... The worse hair they've got, the better their haircut's going to be. Yeah, because all their experimentationalism is on their own head.
You want a fat cook because they enjoy their food, right? If they're thin, you're thinking, what's wrong with it? Oh, they know what's in it. If you've got a nice hairdresser with a lovely hair, you think, exactly, she knows what she's doing.
No, I want... no.
You want a scruff bag?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm right on this, aren't I? I'm right on this. If you get the best haircuts from the people who have the worst hair themselves. That's a fact.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The northbound A1M is currently closed between junctions 9 and 10, Letchworth to Baldock, after an accident that happened earlier on this morning, or an incident that was ongoing earlier. Police, we understand, have left the scene, so hopefully highways will be in the process of reopening shortly, but at the moment we understand it's still closed. M25 anti-clockwise, slow moving, approaching junction 20 Kings Langley. That's because of an accident involving about 5 cars in the outside lane. There's a queue from 21A, and the M1 very heavy southbound passing Toddington services. Delays also in patches south of Luton down onto the M25 this morning. The A414, that's closed south of St Albans. It's closed westbound from the Park Street roundabout all the way up to the M1 for accidents investigation works. The diversion route, the A405 North Albleton, looking very heavy southbound towards the M25 on the speed sensors. No reported problems finally on the trains this morning. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much indeed. Weather coming up, but before that, these are the news headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Experts say a sinkhole in St Albans was on the site of an old clay mine. Police are still questioning a man following an explosion in Hoddesdon which killed 2 people, and all large shops will begin charging for plastic carrier bags from this morning. Good.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
complete contrast to last week's weather, I'm afraid. We've lost our high pressure and we've got a little bit of a low pressure moving through. So some rain this morning, some light patchy rain, followed by some heavier, more persistent rain through the afternoon. Quite strong winds as well, so it's going to be noticeably wetter and noticeably windier. But the temperature stays similar, 18 Celsius, so it is actually going to feel quite mild despite all that wind and rain. Overnight stays breezy. The rain pushes north and eastwards. Behind it, some heavy showers, minimum 13 Celsius, so the temperature's not actually dropping too far. A mild start tomorrow. We've got some heavy thundery showers pushing through. The wind a little bit lighter, so these showers are going to be slow moving, so it means we could get quite a lot of rain in them. But again, temperatures up to 19 Celsius, and that's your forecast.
Very much, Kate.
On Inside Out, we find out how councils across the East want to use new powers to restrict what we do in public spaces.
They're allowed to change the laws to what they see fit and ban what they see fit, which doesn't seem right to me.
We see how satellite technology is helping farmers increase yields and use fewer pesticides. And we join two flying phobics on a weekend course in Luton to see if they can overcome their fear.
It's the one thing in my life that's always scared me. You know, I've been known to walk away from flights and drive my friend's car home.
That's Inside Out, tonight, 7:30 on BBC One.
Well, we blew past the army motorcade and its abnormal load haulage. The gravity of the situation came on us like a bit of new knowledge. Well, the bubbliest a bubble bath broke down on the bank. The gravity of the situation is why our old thought bubble sank. The gravity of the situation, humble and gracious. The gravity of the situation, humble and gracious. The gravity of the situation, humble and gracious. The gravity of the situation, the gravity of the situation. Well, a fat, hungry English crow was picking at a carcass. The gravity of the situation is hard to focus and harness. Well, we met Bill Lowry at the Queen's Hall. The gravity of the situation became apparent to us all. Humble and gracious, the gravity of the situation. Humble and gravity of the situation. Humble and gracious, the gravity of the situation. The gravity of the situation.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is Edward Adu
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
We can dance if we want to, we can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well they're no friends of mine. See, we can go where we want to, places they will never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind. We can dance. We can go if we want to, night is young and so am I. And we can dress real neat from our hearts to our feet and surprise them with a victory cry. Say, we can act if we want to, if we don't nobody will. And you can act real rude and totally removed, and I can act like an imbecile. And say, we can dance, everything's out of control. We can dance, we're doing it from pole to pole. We can dance, everybody look at your hands. We can dance, everybody's taking the chance. Safe to dance, oh it's safe to dance. Yes, it's safe to dance. We can dance if we want to, we've got all your life in mind. As long as we abuse it, never gonna lose it, everything will work out right. I say, we can dance if we want to, we can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well they're no friends of mine. I say, we can dance, everything's out of control. But we can dance, we're doing it from pole to pole. But we can dance, everybody look at your hands. But we can dance, everybody's taking a chance. Well, it's safe to dance, yes it's safe to dance. Well, it's safe to dance, well it's safe to dance, yes it's safe to dance.
Morning, guys. Where else? Hey, Heart Radio. Where's the nearest Heart station, Catherine? Shags? Where's the nearest Heart station?
Northampton.
Okay, we're going to go after the show, guys. You, and you,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and Dealey. We're all jumping in my car. We're driving. Is it Northampton, Justin?
I think it is Northampton or Milton Keynes. I'm pretty much sure it's Northampton, though.
Okay, well then we're not going to Google it first. We're just going to take a punt, and if we're wrong, we'll have a nice day out. We're all going to jump in my car. I've got it cleaned, so there's plenty of room. We're going to drive to Northampton, and we're all going to do something unpleasant in a bag.
Excellent.
Well, tell you what, go and get a Mackie D's first, so it's brewing. Then we'll use the bag.
Yep.
We'll all do it in there. And then we'll just... what do you want to do, Just? You're the master. This throw it at the windows, put it through the letterbox?
To be fair, throwing it at the window is way too easy. I would probably go inside and say, look, I've got a very special package for the manager here. Just slip your hands in there, and when he puts his hands in, the other way you go. Simple.
The other way you go. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to... honestly, you ought to be bowing down at our feet this morning. Vic Chestnut, followed by Safety Dance. Dealey!
Yes,
Speaking
boss.
of putting hands in things that are unwanted, I had my hand for 20 minutes. I was punching a toilet as we didn't have a plunger. I had to make my fist into the shape of a plunger, and I had to... And we all know the word I want to use, and I'm deliberately not using it.
Can you use pump instead?
I was pumping the toilet hard, and the stuff that was coming out was... but I just didn't... And it worked. And then this morning I dropped my watch in a urine-filled toilet where that urine had been brewing. Good morning, guys. And can't wait to go on the grape page later on today. And I fished out my watch. Justin, we're asking this morning, what have you put your hands in that you'd rather not? You've taken this to the streets.
I have. So some very interesting perspectives. Again, universal, this one. You can put your hands in things which are wrong right the way across the world. Here's what happened on the streets.
Hot water.
Say again?
Hot water.
Hot water?
Yeah, hot. I didn't know it's hot.
How hot? Smoking hot or steaming hot? Or?
Oh, steaming everything. All of the hottest.
And where were you at the time?
Home.
Where's home?
Where I live.
Let's get the Polish perspective. Okay. Sir, what's the worst thing you've ever put your hand in by mistake? It's a great Polish laugh.
A bin.
What happened?
Well, no, I just lifted it lid and then it was there. Something sticky.
Okay, I think we'll leave it there. It's a great Polish perspective. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Justin, I've got one. Listen, welcome back.
Thank you.
One question off the back of that.
Yeah.
Where's home?
Where's home?
Yes, that was the question to that gentleman. The ex-answer, where I live.
Yes.
Where's home? Where I live.
Listen, he didn't want to go into any further details. I mean, I'm not saying anything more for legal reasons.
We've got time for one of these. Hang on. We've got time for one of these. I read a headline out that's got very difficult to describe a story. I've got. I don't know which one to go with. Oh, okay, we'll go with this one. Brownie nosing.
Oh.
Brownie nosing. Shags, you're... Shags is on the phone. The system that allows me to communicate to the team outside isn't working today, Justin. There's a surprise. So we'll start with you, Justin. Brownie nosing. What the hell is the story?
Is this got something to do with oh goodness me, right, okay. Has this got something to do with a group of brownies who went to some sort of cake factory and they played a game of who could smell the cake?
That would be news. That would be news.
I don't know.
He says it as though he actually plays a game.
Okay,
Christmas is coming.
Smell my cake.
Okay, guys. Mum, put the blindfold on. We're going to play Who Can Smell the Cake.
All right, then. What about a group of brownies who had to smell cakes for 24 hours and they'd broken a world record? That would be news.
How can you measure that?
Oh, I've missed this. Incorrect data. It is to do with cakes.
Right.
Brownie nosing,
I know,
Catherine.
I know. Someone bit into a delicious brownie and found a mouse's nose in there.
No, it's not. And Justin's would be more newsworthy than this. Brownie nosing. 1 in 10 people buy cake for their boss to butter them up, hoping to get a pay rise. And guess who says it?
Brownies?
Greg's.
You're both close. Mr. Kipling! Mr. Kipling! Thank you, Dealey!
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, long delays on the M25 this morning, approaching junction 20. There was an accident earlier. Motorway was blocked for a short while. It is now open. All the cars, the 5 cars we understand involved, are on the hard shoulder. There's a queue, though, from junction 22. Long delays on the anti-clockwise M25 this morning. Not helped by the fact that the A414 is closed, westbound from the Park Street roundabout all the way up to the M1 for accident investigation works. James Woolley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
James, thank you very much indeed. Excellently done. I didn't give you much time and you crammed it all in. Thank you very much indeed. Story of my life. 03459 455 555. Rock stars in wheelchairs, and wherever you put your hand where you'd rather you didn't.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
7 o'clock, I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines. Investigations continue into a fatal explosion at Hoddesdon. The St Albans sinkhole was on the site of an old clay mine, and shoppers charged for plastic bags from this morning.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Work will continue this morning to fill a large sinkhole which appeared in St Albans. People who live in Fontmell Close have been unable to return to their homes since the collapse last Thursday. Dr Tim Sands, an expert in geology at the University of Hertfordshire, wants to find out the extent of the problem in the city.
What I'd like to do is find out, the cause of it, whether it is an old mine or whether it's a natural solution feature. And that's interesting because we can then perhaps use that information to find out elsewhere in the area where there might be further potential sinkholes.
Police are continuing to question a man following an explosion in Hoddesdon which killed 2 people. The blast took place at an industrial unit on Saturday afternoon. Catherine Boyle reports.
Emergency services were called to the unit on Plumpton Road where they found 3 men injured. They were taken to hospital, but one in his 40s and another in his 30s later died. A third man who's in his 20s with minor injuries has now been discharged. A 40-year-old man from Hoddesdon's been arrested on suspicion of health and safety offences and manslaughter by gross negligence.
Police are appealing for witnesses to a fatal accident at Gosmore near Hitchin yesterday morning. The crash involving a single blue Peugeot took place on Preston Road in the early hours. A second person who was in the car is being treated in hospital. A woman from Chesham whose relatives fled Syria has written to the government asking for help to bring them to the UK. Najua Huiji has an aunt and cousins at a refugee camp in Lebanon. She told Three Counties Radio she's doing all she can to get them here.
We have sent letters to the Home Office and we represented our petition to the local MP Cheryl Gillen, and we sent in a letter to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to try and get my families selected.
Shoppers will have to pay 5 pence for a disposable plastic bag from all large shops from today. The government hopes it will cut their use by 80%. Samantha Harding from Break the Bag Habit says the charge has been effective elsewhere.
People in England will behave very similarly to the people in Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland. And Scotland actually introduced a scheme most recently up there, and within 6 months they saw that 80% reduction in usage. So I think people very quickly get used to thinking, actually, I will take my own bag.
In sport, Liverpool have sacked manager Brendan Rodgers after 3.5 years in charge. Watford drew 1-1 with Bournemouth in the Premier League, while the MK Dons got a draw in the Championship. It was another victory for Luton Town in League 2, but defeat for Wycombe Wanderers and Stevenage. The weather will be windy and cloudy with rain today. Top temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/Three Counties.
No, I totally disagree with sex with a robot.
Morning, guys. Am I the only person in Christendom who thinks that the 5p... Well, first of all, the 5p on a plastic bag, right, I'm not really that bothered about. Everyone's like, oh, it's disgusting. Got 5 pence on a plastic bag. I've got to spend 5p on a plastic bag. I'm going and giving them my money already. Just give me the plastic fee. Everybody's got their knickers in a twist and is furious, right? I'm not that bothered, but I'm erring on the side of it's probably a good thing. At most, and this is a very rare occasion, it's going to cost me 25 pence. But I'm spending a fortune in Tesco's and Sainsbury's. It's not fair to get it's my human rights to get the bag. All these bloody police coming over here, it's my right to get a plastic bag. You know what? But people are dying and stuff. There's important stuff to get your knickers in a twist about. It's just... We've all got a drawer full of plastic bags in the kitchen. It's generally the second, sometimes the third drawer down. You want string, you want dead batteries, you want plastic bags. You go to the second drawer down in the kitchen. They're there. Use those ones for free. And then keep using them. And then when you go shopping, put them in your pocket. I don't want to carry plastic bags in my pocket. My granddad didn't fight in the war just so that we'd have to pay 5p on plastic bags. People are getting so angry about it. I'm not that bothered. I'm genuinely not that bothered, but I'm erring on the side of... Well, OK, I'm erring on the side of it's a good thing, and I've just realised why I think it's quite a good thing. I ain't going to save the planet, because China are building a new coal factory every week. Sorry. And, so it's not going to save the planet, but... It's winding up a load of people that so actually that's why it's a good reason. It's winding up narrow-minded numpties.
You know an extra reason why it won't save the planet?
Yeah.
Which means I've got to buy bin bags.
Yeah, we've got to buy bin bags.
But yeah, it'll be a good reminder to take me bags for life. I've got loads of bags for life that I never use. Pointless.
By the way, have I been on Celebrity Pointless yet? Has that happened? 03459 455 555. Can someone... Here's what we're going to do, OK? Because I'm sure... Everybody's going to be doing this. I bet Ferraris... Everyone's going to do this today. It's outrageous that we've got to pay 5 pence back. It's not. It's not outrageous. Why should you get it for free? Why should you get it for free? OK, two questions. I'd love you to answer, OK? Why should you get your plastic bags for free? And why do you think they're kind of the same question? OK, one question. Well, let's focus it down. The laser beam. Why is it a bad thing that you've got to pay for your plastic bags now? Why is that a bad thing? Can someone tell me why it's a bad thing? Here's the caveat. You're not allowed to phone up and say, well, I spend a load of money in that shop already. It doesn't matter. Don't mean just because you spend a load of money in that shop already, you should get a free bag of chips. Or a free sandwich. Well, I should get my loaf of bread free because I spent a fortune in that shop already. Well, I didn't know it didn't work like that.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Everyone's getting so angry about it. And do you know what? I spent a weekend trying to sort out my mum's pension, her work pension that she should have got on Friday. And due to the fact that the company that runs it are complete and utter bells, and ignored my requests to send all of the correspondence to me because I've got power of attorney, so legally they're obliged to send it to me. They ignored that. I've now got to find her blooming wedding licence from... I don't even know when they got married, like... The olden days, it's like the 70s or the 60s or something. It was probably carved in stone. That's how long. I've got to get my mum's wedding licence to get her the money that she's been paying. It's her money. She's been paying that money in for the last 30 years. It's her money. Just give it to her. Right? That's important. People are dying. Right? That's important. You might have someone in your home who's dying. Right? That's important. 5 pence on a plastic bag. I mean, it's one of those things. If I was a conspiracy theorist, and I will be when I get older, when I've got the time to actually watch all of those documentaries, those homemade documentaries on YouTube, and go on forums, I will become a conspiracy theorist. But if I were one now, I would doff my tinfoil hat and say, it's a distraction technique. Well, let's look at the smaller stories in the paper. What are the government trying to hide from us today? I bet they've set off a nuclear bomb in Taiwan or something.
We might know about that.
Well, would we? We wouldn't because we're
thinking about plastic bags.
It's like Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels is a great metaphor for the government, right? Because while he's tickling Debbie McGee, no. While he's using his wand on Debbie McGee, no. While he's doing a fantastic card trick with the left hand, with the right hand, he's killing a puppy.
I haven't seen that trick.
Well, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see it because you're looking at the card trick. The number of puppies that Paul Daniels has killed. I think we can legally say that. Let's just go to our legal correspondent. Shags? Thanks very much indeed. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call. Explain to me why you think you should get free plastic bags and why it's such a big deal. It's not a big deal, guys. Trust me. Try and convince me otherwise.
The other thing is, people are going to start talking about, for years I've been a customer at that shop and it's a tradition. It's not. Actually, in the olden days, you didn't get a plastic bag. You took your own basket.
You took your old shopping trolley. Evan Tartan shopping trolley. Marx's have been charging for ages, haven't they? Marx's have been charging for years, I think. But Marx's are still doing all right. You know, they're still doing all right. Tell you what Marx's would do better. Here's the thing they need to bring back, and they got rid of it about 25 years ago, and I won't step foot into St Michael's unless they bring this back, right? It sounds horrible. It's beautiful. Cheese and apple sandwich. Boom. Simple. Brown bread, grated cheese, tiny little slices of apple. Sweet. It was sweet. They stopped doing that. And the bacon fingers. They were like fish fingers, but bacon.
What? That sounds disgusting.
No, it don't. Let's go to Shags. Shags?
That does sound disgusting.
Right, you're fired.
Salty.
Sorry.
That's a yellow card.
Yeah.
Too salty, man.
Well, but Shags, he is very, very salty. Very salty. And that's the problem, but I just can't stop licking that guy. He's very Moorish. An old clay mine is the cause of the 60-foot wide crown hole. That's the proper term. It's not a think hole. Get knotted. In St Albans. That's according to the British Geological Survey, who've been examining the hole, which opened up overnight in Fontmell Close on Thursday. They've confirmed that the street has been built over old Victorian brickworks with unfilled excavations. Well, from the British Geological Survey, we've got Peter Hobbs joining us this morning. Morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. So, listen, I come at this knowing nothing. Are there old maps that kind of tell you what's underground?
Well, there are maps showing the excavations for the brickworks. We've had a look through them, and they do match up very closely with the appearance, with the location of the sinkhole, yes.
So what exactly is underground then? Is it, what, tunnels? Is it kind of a factory? What is it?
Well, it looks to have been a quarry for clay for making bricks, and this working probably went down to the chalk, which is at a depth of about 4 or 5 metres. But, crucially, there looks like there may have been some shaft going further down into the chalk, possibly down to 10 metres.
Wow.
But we're not absolutely sure about this, but there are records of shafts going to that depth in the general area.
I may ask some questions that you might not be able to answer, or you might think are stupid, and I appreciate your indulgence, Peter, but I find this fascinating. That would have been known, wouldn't it, when someone decided to build that street? They would have known that there were these shafts and this quarry underneath that ground, wouldn't they?
I think the answer to that is yes. They would have known. I think probably the knowledge of these things has gradually diminished over the years, and somehow this knowledge has become lost in some circles anyway.
So how would this... and what the difference between a crown hole and a sinkhole? Is a sinkhole just a completely natural phenomenon, and a crown hole is... there is some form of human intervention that took place?
I think that's a pretty good summary of it, yes. I think really sinkhole is a more understood term, so
Right.
we tended to use the term sinkhole.
OK. How would this have happened then? What would have caused... These houses have been there for quite a while. What would have caused, in your opinion, this hole to have opened up now?
Well, I think what may have happened is that some of the old workings, including possibly a shaft, has not been completely filled in. So it's just maybe bulldozed over and not thoroughly dealt with, you know.
And would water erosion have had an impact on it? Or is it just it would have happened at some point anyway?
Water does play a major part in these events, and it could be something to do with the levels of the water table, because the chalk which underlies this site is soluble, and acid rain tends to work on this in a fairly slow manner, but with time these holes can be enlarged and eventually collapse.
You've, if I'm right, Peter, you've seen the maps for the area. Are there other people who should be desperately trying to put their houses on the market and getting out as soon as possible? Is there more? Are there more chances of more of these holes appearing?
Well, I can't say that there aren't chances of further holes, but I don't think there's need for panic. I think whilst the general area is affected, and there will be other streets affected by it, there should be investigations now to see how far the workings went, and also are there any other voids in the area underlying building.
Peter, I really appreciate your insight into this. Thank you. Peter Hobbs from the British Geological Survey. I'm sorry, Catherine, but the whole... And boy, oh boy, he was genuinely fascinating. I love stuff like that. I love it. But all the way through that, all I had in my head was the... I just had the theme tune from Shaft going on in my head the whole time that he was speaking to me. It was there was no way around it, Peter, and I'm sorry. I hope you couldn't hear it spilling out of my ear holes. Man alive, kids, if you live anywhere near that area, in fact, all children in St Albans, stop jumping up and down on your beds because, this is only my theory. This is not the theory of the British Geological Survey or the BBC, but I suspect it was a fat kid jumping up and down on the bed that caused that hole, or just something like that happening. You know, or the pogoing. Do they still? Hey, here's a question. This, of course, is the theme tune to Diagnosis Murder. When was the last time you saw a kid on a pogo stick? You don't see pogo sticks anymore, do you? Do you?
There was a craze for them about 2 years ago.
No, there wasn't. You're thinking of 1977.
No, honestly, my cousin's kids had one. And I thought,
Wow.
gosh, I've seen these in the Beano, but I'd never had a go on one.
You've never been on
then.
a pogo stick?
Until then.
The ones in the 70s, of course, before Elf and Safe, they ruined it. The spring they were loaded with that would send you to the moon.
They make a hell of a noise.
Man.
Witness.
That's another phone in to add in. When was the last time you saw somebody on a pogo stick? And if anybody can please send us a photo of you riding a pogo stick, we'd love to see it. Iain.lee@bbc.co.uk. It'll go straight on the Facebook page, I tell you that. 03459 455 555. It's Pogo Monday.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, the anti-clockwise M25's queuing from junction 22 St Albans round towards junction 20 for Kings Langley. It's all because of an accident that's now on the hard shoulder, but really slow on the approaches. As a result, the southbound A41 slow, as is the M1, and long delays also on the A405 North Orbital down towards Brickerwood. Not helped by the earlier closure of the A414. The A414 westbound now open from the Park Street roundabout, but there's a long queue from the London Coney roundabout, and that's westbound. Eastbound is also really slow because I think of the congestion around Park Street. Moving on to the A1M, good news, northbound is open between 9 and 10. It was closed earlier because of a police incident. Southbound, though, usual congestion approaching junction 7 Stevenage. And the southbound M1 looking really slow down towards Toddington Services on the sensors this morning. James Wally, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, James. Busy show this morning. Pop stars, rock stars, any musician in a wheelchair. Can't remember why we're doing that, but we are, and it's wonderful. 03459 455 555. Your pogo stick stories. We're going to keep it as vague as that, please. And you tell me why you think you should get free plastic bags. Go on, because I don't get it. Why should you get them for free? 03459 455 555. The way it works is you phone up, you speak to Shags or Catherine, they call you back. So even if you haven't got much money, they call you back. Or you can text us, 81333, start your text 3CR, and if you can say, call us back, we'll call you back. Simple as. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Work will continue this morning to fill a large crown hole in St Albans. 2 men have died after an explosion at an industrial unit in Hoddesdon, and shoppers will have to pay for plastic bags at large shops from this morning. And I don't get why you shouldn't pay for them in small shops. Those guys need the dollar more.
Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio.
History coming up very shortly with the brilliant Dan Hill. He's a local historian.
Silversworth, amongst other things, has got quite a rich history. As it's further east, there is a lot more influence with regards to things like air raids.
Weekdays from 12.
Great music as well coming up here on BBC Three Counties Radio. Freddie Mercury, The Great Pretender. Go West as well on its way. First, though, here's T-Rex.
Nick Coffer.
You know, it's fantastic to be able to get, people like Nathan Bell and Gary Matthew and, experienced but still early on in their careers, giving them the opportunity to come and make music in a lovely environment, Luton Library Theatre.
Could you describe modern Britain in 50 records? Stuart McConey is doing just that in his book.
I don't think you're ever going to get another Beatles who dominate the pop cultures.
Nick Coffer, weekdays from 12 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I think I can do a Stuart McConey. I don't think... I was doing it then. I don't think you're ever going to get a Beatles that's going to come along and change the face of pop musical culture. That's not bad.
No.
First dibs at Stuart McConey.
Bit too manky. He's Wigan.
I don't think...
oh no.
Yeah, hang on a second. I've just hit the travel bed. We've set off the travel alarms. Means we're going to have,
do something worthwhile.
No, it means we're going to have loads of people listening to me trying to do a Stuart McConey. Let's just, if we get the Nick Coffer thing, we'll just have that playing in the background there. When we get, I don't think you're ever going to get 50 Beatles bands ever together.
Local history.
That's me.
I've lost it now. Let's wait for Stuart McConey. We're all going to have a go at Stuart McConey.
A lot more influence with regards to things like air raids.
Weekdays from 12.
Great music as well coming up here on BBC Three Counties Radio. Freddie Mercury, The Great Pretender. Go West as well on its way. First, though, here's T-Rex.
Nick Coffer.
It's fantastic to be able to get, people...
it's fantastic. You're going to get people who are going to want to do
experience,
this guy.
but still...
Just saying this guy's not famous.
Giving them the opportunity to come and make music in a lovely environment, Luton Library Theatre.
Could you describe modern Britain in 50 records? Stuart McConey is doing just that in his book.
I don't think you're ever going to get another Beatles who dominate the pop culture.
I don't think you're ever going to get another Beatles who dominated the pop culture. I don't think you're ever. It's very nasally. I don't think you're ever going to get another Beatles that are dominant. It's very nasally. I'm making my mouth very small. Oh, by the way, I thought this would be a fun game to play. How small can you make your mouth?
Tiny.
Yeah, I know. Try it, Shags. Lift your. I can't. It's just too much hair there, mate. I've got no idea what that is.
Can you part your moustache?
Pull up your moustache. Kath, you pull down his beard. Go do a small mouth.
Tiny mouth.
No, smaller than that.
You have to speak.
Honestly, it's such a fun game. I was playing this at the weekend for about an hour. Or just by myself. Honestly, I was. It was an hour of me with a mirror. You've got to be able to see the lips.
Right.
You've got to be able to see at least a portion of lip.
I've not got very much lip as it goes.
You can always go. You can always go a little bit smaller. Guys,
that's your next Periscope right there.
Guys, if you wanna call in and no, Peters and Lee weren't in a wheelchairs.
No, one was blind, wasn't he?
Yeah, and when they split up. That joke my dad used to tell me. Terribly politically incorrect now. If you want to phone up and do a small mouth, the smallest mouth you can, 03459 455 555. I've got to say, they're all great phone-in topics today, aren't they?
Everyone a winner.
After what can only be described as a car crash on Saturday between 12 and 2. Don't worry, I know how to fix it. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. We're back on fine form this morning. Fine form this morning. I think it's partly... No, it's despite the fact that Shaggy's with us.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Some people say it like that, don't they? Welcome.
Yeah, Alan Partridge.
Oh, okay, right.
He says that.
That guy. Okay, right. He's not a real guy, you know that. I remember years ago...
I've heard him.
Years ago, we were watching Alan Partridge. And he was he wasn't as big as he is now, but he was quite big, with my friend Mark Fretwell. I've not seen Mark for years. He was a very sensible, down-to-earth guy. And we were watching it, and he was sat there really quietly, for like 10 minutes. He went, you really surprised me. I said, what was that, Mark? What are you watching this idiot for? I said, huh? It's funny. I said, what are you watching this right-wing idiot for? He's an absolute backside of a man. And we went, oh, you don't know that he's not real, do you? He's a really intelligent bloke, and he did not get that Partridge was not a real person.
Because there are plenty of real ones out there.
Well, Wally Webb. That he's based on Wally. That's not an insult. He's based on Wally Webb.
Says Wally Webb.
So says Wally Webb. Okay. A disabled woman from Dunstable is frustrated that the council won't install an outside socket so she can charge her mobility scooter. At the moment, council tenant Teresa Howe is having to run an extension cable from her flat window to where she keeps her scooter outside. She's been told by Central Beds Council they cannot supply... Well, you read it there, it's a double negative. I'm not going to read exactly what it says. What it says is they cannot not supply. They cannot supply sockets for scooters under the general day-to-day budget. Well, Teresa joins me on the line now. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Why do you need this scooter? What does it? How does it help you?
Well, basically, I have a lot of disabilities, and my disabilities have got worse. And so I got a mobility scooter, contacted the council and asked them if they could fit a PowerPoint so that I could safely charge my mobility scooter. And their answer was pretty much no.
Oh. A couple of things, because it's been a long time since my mum had a mobility scooter, and we were lucky enough that we had a garage. She had a garage at the time. She could park it in and charge it in. Why are the council supposed to supply a charger?
No, they're not supposed to supply a charger.
Right.
But you would think that being in the position that I'm in, I can't move into sheltered accommodation because I'm not old enough, which would be suitable for me. So I'm stuck in the property that I'm in, so I've got to do the best with the property that I'm in and adapt the property that I'm in. And you would think that they would be willing to put in a plug socket, because that's all it is, a plug socket, so that a disabled person can keep their independence.
Yeah. How much does a plug socket cost to install these days?
I would have absolutely no idea.
You've not investigated?
I haven't.
Why?
We are all getting... because it's a communal area in the area of the building, I wouldn't be allowed to get an electrician in to fit anything in anyway. So even if I did contact an electrician and say, could you come round and put a PowerPoint in for me, I wouldn't be allowed to do that.
Why not? You'd be able to get permission off of the... what would you have to go through? The Tenants Association?
No, it would have to come from the council because the plug socket would be in a communal area.
The council don't have a problem with the plug socket per se, though, do they? It's just that they don't want to put it there.
Yeah, I mean, the surveyor
so they would probably give you permission. Go on. Sorry.
The surveyor that came out and had a look didn't say that he thought it would be an issue, but then what's happened is he's then come back to me and said, later on during the day, I think after he'd been contacted by yourselves or somebody else, he's then emailed me and said that all he actually requires for the council's consideration is a report from occupational therapy.
Yeah.
Well, occupational therapy are a department in the council who already look after me and my disabilities.
Yeah.
So they're already fully aware. I mean, they're even, they've done a wet room for me, everything.
Well,
So
we all know, anyone who's dealt with occupational therapy and other sides of the left hand ain't got a clue what the right hand's doing, and the communication between departments is ridiculously difficult. But the comment you raise about you need to get permission from the council, well, it sounds like they would give you that permission.
Well,
from what you've said.
Not necessarily. Like I say, it is a communal area.
Yeah.
And to do any kind of works in a communal area, you have to get their permission.
Yeah. Well, the surveyor came out and said that he didn't see a problem with it in theory. It's just that they weren't going to pay for it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And my sort of the answer to them is, well, I can't go into accommodation that would have that supplied as part of the accommodation. The council won't let me because I'm apparently not old enough. I'm ill enough, but not old enough. So I can't get into those kinds of accommodations. And if I can't adapt the one that I'm in, where does that leave me?
Why don't you get a couple of quotes?
I could well do, but again, I'm a disabled person. I live on benefits. I probably wouldn't be able to afford it.
Well, but the thing is, we don't know, do we? Because we don't know how much it is. It might well be out of your range. But if you got a couple of quotes, A, you might be able to afford it because it might be cheaper than we think. I've got literally no idea. B, you could then go back to the council and say, well, I've spoken to 2 builders, 2 electricians, and they can do it for this. And that might make them more amenable. If they have a price, that might make them more amenable to doing it.
Quite possibly.
What I'm saying is, sometimes we've got to, do a little bit of shoveling for ourselves before someone comes and finishes the hole.
Oh, absolutely. But then I think I've already been shoveling. I started off with occupational therapy. He referred me to the council, the electric contractors, the council electric contractors. Referred me back to the council housing repairs team. The council housing repairs team referred me back to the surveyor. So I think I've done the rounds around the council and eventually got to somebody that could make a decision.
And they've made a decision.
And then it's actually turned out that actually he doesn't make the decision. Somebody else does. And they're saying that's not in their day-to-day budget. I understand that. I wouldn't expect it to be in their day-to-day budget, but there must be an emergency fund budget for situations like this, where you've got a disabled person living in an unsuitable accommodation. You can't move her into suitable accommodation.
Do you just want to move? Is that what it is? You just want to move?
No, I love my home.
Yeah.
And as much as I would, sheltered accommodation would be so much more suitable for me, it's out of my reach because of my age. And so I'm kind of stuck in the kind of accommodation that I'm in, and I feel that if they won't help me adapt it, I'm sort of stuck somewhere in the middle.
All right.
Because
Teresa,
if I was in a sheltered accommodation, they would do it with no questions.
Yeah, and it would ultimately, of course, cost the council more money. Teresa, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get... bless you, Catherine, not you, Teresa. I wasn't saying that. Catherine sneezing. I hope you get a solution that is that works for everybody. I know how important those scooters can be. I would like your thoughts on that, please. Treading carefully, because I don't want to, is Teresa right to be upset that the council won't provide her with that socket? I think you've got to kind of get a couple of quotes yourself, haven't you? Because we've got literally no idea how much that would cost. It could cost a fortune. It might actually be surprisingly affordable. We don't know. 03459 455 555. Let's get the Trav.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thanks, Ian. Well, the anti-clockwise M25 really slow this morning from junction 22 St Albans round towards 20 for Kings Langley. That's because of an accident that happened earlier on this morning. The motorway's fully open, but delays remain. Anti-clockwise also slowed down towards junction 16, usual congestion for this time of the morning. Because of the earlier closure of the 414 at Park Street, long delays westbound from the London Coney roundabout up towards Park Street, and southbound A405 looking really slow. By the way, the A41, that's really slowed down to the M25 from just east of Bourne End. And the M1, heavy in patches this morning from 13 all the way down to junction 7. Southbound A1M, usual stuff at junction 7, that's the Stevenage exit. And heading on to Stoke Hammond, rather, the A4146, we're just being told, partially blocked southbound towards Leighton Buzzard from the Lakes Estate because of an accident. James Worley, BBC, Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines. Experts say a large sinkhole which appeared on a street in St Albans is on the site of an old clay mine. Work will continue this morning to fill it with foam concrete. Police are continuing to question a man following an explosion in Hoddesdon which killed 2 people. The blast took place at an industrial unit in Plumpton Road. And shoppers will have to pay at least 5 pence for plastic bags at supermarkets and large shops from this morning. The government hopes it will cut their use by 80%. The weather will be windy and cloudy with rain for most of the day. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The owners of Liverpool Football Club are looking for a new manager after the sacking of Brendan Rodgers. The former Borussia Dortmund coach Jurgen Klopp is the frontrunner for the job. But Alan Shearer says Liverpool's poor run of form wasn't all down to the former Watford boss.
It's been a massive turnover of players constantly with Liverpool, but for the amount that has been spent, I'm afraid those players really haven't helped Brendan a lot, have they?
Watford drew 1-1 with Bournemouth in the Premier League and the MK Dons got a draw in the Championship. Luton Town secured their 4th win in a row in League 2 with a 4-1 victory at Hartlepool. Assistant manager Terry Harris praised his side's goalkeeper.
We're fortunate that we got 2 top-class goalkeepers in my eyes at the club and pulled off some very good saves today. You know, we weren't particularly happy with our overall sort of defending really as such. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, I mean, as I said, he was very, very good today, Mark Tyler.
Elsewhere, it was defeat for Wycombe Wanderers and Stevenage. In rugby, England's head coach Stuart Lancaster says he'll decide whether to resign after the World Cup. England were knocked out of the competition after losing to Australia. Ireland are through to the quarter-finals, beating Italy 16-9. Fly half Johnny Sexton says it was a hard-fought win.
Look, it was a tough game. We knew it was going to be a step up from the sort of previous games we had played. Obviously, the quality of the opposition was much higher than Romania and Canada, and I think Italy had Sergio Parise back, and he makes a massive difference to their team. So, yeah, a lot tougher. We probably needed that type of game, but there's lots of aspects of our game that we need to be better at.
And that's BBC Three Counties News and Sport with more at 8 o'clock.
Hang on, bear with me. Here it comes. There we go. There we go. Here's a new one. Here's guys.
Raisins come from grapes. People come from apes. I come from Canada. I came in first place in a non-existent race to rebuild the Parthenon. The Parthenon's in Greece, or was it in Greece too? I can't keep my movies straight. When I make mistakes, I use a lot of salt, 'cause salt makes mistakes taste great. I don't want to be a bother, but I think the phone's for you. I've got orange pants, I wear them when I dance, but I don't get out that much. You are just too loud, I passed you in a crowd. Thank you and keep in touch. I don't speak Chinese, not even words like please, thank you or how are you. But I can parle français, I borrowed a bit today. It seemed like the thing to do. I don't want to be a bother, but I think you're in my seat.
Mary, Mary, what you barking at? Sorry? Oh, hello, Mary. You all right, Joy? You all right, Mary?
Yes, thank you.
Hey, I'm looking out the window. It's 7:36, and it's dark.
I know.
It's dark, and the nights are drawing in, aren't they? Winter draws on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, what happened last night?
I said it's not nice.
No. Well, do you know what? I quite like it. I'm not enjoying the heat. It was hot yesterday, and it's blooming nearly November. It shouldn't be hot at this time of year. It should be cold. I want it cold. I want my MTV, and I want my autumns cold. What have you got for us, Mary?
Well, this lady that wants her electricity point in a communal area.
Yeah.
Has she thought it through?
Go on.
Because when her bug is not plugged in, I assume this is going to be connected to her electricity meter, so she's paying for the electricity.
Yeah, yes, it would be. It would be connected to her electricity meter, so it would be on her dollar, yes.
Yeah, so when she's out,
Yes.
anyone can use her electricity in the communal area. So she could end up with an electricity bill sky high.
People could go and charge their phones up at
They
Mary's
could do
expense.
anything.
Watch their portable televisions.
Exactly.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. That's is there any way? Can you
lock it? I don't know.
Can you lock it? You could probably. Hang on, Catherine's nodding as though she has something interesting to say. I bet she hasn't, Mary. But contractually, I have to let her on. Let's find out.
Shut up. I think you could be able to put a keyhole thing over it. Surely.
I don't know.
A keyhole thing. I think she means a lock.
Yeah.
A keyhole thing. I suppose you could.
But who really is going to be using her electricity?
Oh, come on.
No, come on.
I would. All right. Your phone has died, right?
Outside.
And you've got a phone. Yeah, your phone has died, right? And you've got to make a really important phone call to, I don't know, the hospital, your mum, your dealer, or something. You see a socket.
You got your charger in your bag. People do that, don't they?
If you've got an iPhone, you have to. You go, I'll have a little bit of that. I'll have some of that lecky. Beautiful.
I think if you're that cheeky, you kind of deserve a freebie.
Or if you're tight, you live next door or a couple of doors out, you can get very long extension leads. That's the TV for the night.
Oh no!
Seriously, I'd do that. I mean, I wouldn't do that, Mary, but what did you think?
Some people would.
Yeah, some people would. Crooks would. What do you? It's basically an old-fashioned version of sitting outside someone's house and stealing their Wi-Fi. That's what it is. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? There we go. What do you reckon, Mary? Should the council do it for her?
Probably not. I think if she's allowed to do it herself. It probably only costs 50 quid anyway.
Well, I suspect it. Well, I suspect it would cost a bit more. The call-out fee for those guys is about 80. I'm surprised that she hasn't got a couple of quotes already, just so she's got a figure in her head. Because you're right, it might be cheaper. It might be cheaper than we think. I don't know, or it might be well out of her range. But then at least she could go back to the council and say, "Look, it's only going to cost 200 quid or whatever." You think you get a quote?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends where the meter is, doesn't it? And how far they've got to run a wire from the meter to the
I tell you what I'm addicted to, Mary. Now that I've put down the pipe, I'm addicted to switching my suppliers. Because I switched my suppliers. I've been with a supplier for a couple of years, right? And I thought, do you know what? I was trying to save a few quid, and I cancelled my Sky and all of these stuff. Just trying to, just trim the corners a little bit. And I thought, I'll go on to one of those switching websites and compare my gas and my lecky. Anyway, much, much cheaper, saved a fortune. And I've signed up with this website, and they keep emailing me saying, we found another way you can save £76 a year. And I'm going, ka-ching! And I just keep on... I just keep on changing my gas, like every 3 weeks, just as the gas and lecky company are getting used to me. I go, bye, I found a cheaper one. I'm loving it, Mary. What I'm saying is, I got enough money to buy you and me a slap-up meal. Are you up for it?
Excellent.
We're coming to Northampton. After we've done something obscene to Heart Radio in Northampton, Mary, I'm going to drop the others off and I'll pop round.
Oh, we'll need somewhere to hide.
Yeah, under cover of the night, Dennis is in Dunsterbubble. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning.
What you got for us,
Where
love?
did this lady store this machine? Inside the house? Why can't she have a plug put by there?
No, she stores
inside
it.
the house.
I don't know if you listened to the story. She keeps the machine outside the house.
Oh, is she?
And then she drives down the street. This is the music that plays. Very, very sexy music. That's the theme tune to...
it must get soaking wet and the kids must
Three
be
Men and a Little
playing
Lady. So, say that... Well, I get, you can get covers for these damned machines, can't you?
Yes, yeah. But what I really wanted to talk to you about, this business with your toilet.
Oh, no.
The worst job you've ever done. The worst thing you put your hand in.
For those who don't know, Dennis, I'm going to ruin their breakfast as well. My toilet had been blocked up for several days. Yet my boys, it turns out, had decided to keep on pooing in it. Yeah, I know. So it was full to the top with. It was like a bog in every sense of the word. And I braved it, Dennis. I manned up and I made a fist with my hand. I shoved it into the brown hole and I pumped and I pumped and I pumped for 15 minutes. And every time the water ran away, I had to flush it again so it would fill up with the brown stuff. Touch of the brown. I pumped and I unblocked my toilet by pumping away with my fist. The worst thing you've ever put your hand in, please. 03459 455 555.
The worst thing I put my hand in was my wallet to get somebody else to come and do the damn job.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. We're also asking rock stars in wheelchairs. Should the young lady we spoke to be entitled to a free plug from the council? I mean... Oh, and any other bits and pieces you want. 03459 455 555. Oh, and no one has been able this morning to call in and tell me why they should get free plastic bags. From today, in the bigger shops, it's going to cost you 5 pence a bag, yeah? And people are getting their knickers in a twist about it. It's like, first of all, it's not that big a deal, really. I mean, I'm not bothered. Secondly, I'm erring on the side of it's probably a good thing. And I don't know why smaller shops... Well, I do know why smaller shops aren't doing it, because you'll get some drunk plum going, "Hey! I'm buying this packet of fags. Give me a free bag." Tell me why you're entitled to a free bag. And if you're upset by the fact you've got to pay 5 pence a bag, can you tell me why? 03459 455 555. Kath, have we got any texters?
Yeah,
Go on,
we have. Ev says, put it on an isolator switch. I think he's talking about the mobility scooter story.
Or the lady herself. We just don't know.
Snuffers says, why didn't Iain put his arm in a bin bag before shoving down the U-bend exactly?
Oh, no! The bin, put my arm in what?
A bin bag.
Oh, why didn't I think... Well, because then you get into the thing of he's desperately trying to think why he didn't put it... Hang on, give me a second.
They often have holes in the bottom, don't they? Little tiny ones, so you can't suffocate yourself.
Listen, and also, it would have involved sellotaping. It was my right arm. It would have involved sellotape. No. Listen, just get in there, deal with it. Boy, oh boy, I did it with both arms as well.
Why?
I started with my left because I thought, well, this will be easy, and then I realised it wasn't. I needed the purchase of my right fist. I gave that toilet a right hook. I did spend an hour Googling videos on how to unblock a blocked toilet. Gosh, that was close. And I just thought, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. And I did. And do you know what? I felt like a dad. I felt proud of myself.
Okay, well, good. Because what you really were was a man on his knees pumping a toilet.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's absolutely correct.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Anything, guys? Anything? Are they there, Shags?
They're just... Hang on. Steady. Oh, no. No, they've gone again.
Okay.
Oh, something's wrong.
hang on, they're trying to saunter in, but
they can't
open.
There we go.
We got with that. Let's get the travel. They've sauntered in. Away you go, boss.
Thanks very much indeed, Ian. Well, it's really busy on a number of routes across the three counties. Let's start on the M25. Anti-clockwise is queuing from just before junction 22 St Albans all the way round to 20. That's the Kings Langley exit, mainly because of an accident earlier on. As a result, the southbound A41 queuing, the A414 at Park Street really slow, not helped by the earlier closure of the 414 westbound. It's reopened, but there's a long queue from the London Coney roundabout. Southbound A405 North Orbital down to Bricket Wood. That's busier than than usual. And the M1 slow moving in patches from junctions 13 down to 7. Very slow on the M1 through Bedfordshire into Hertfordshire this morning. Southbound A1M looking very slow from Letchworth down towards the second Stevenage exit. And northbound is fully open now, of course. Checking the situation on the trains, no reported problems this morning. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much, James. Gosh, anyone think it was me that was late for the travel? I mean, really. Don't worry, we're fine. We'll just cover for you. Right, where are we now? 7:46, it's Monday the 5th of October. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Work will continue this morning to fill a large crown hole in St Albans. 2 men have died after an explosion at an industrial unit in Hoddesdon, and shoppers will have to pay for plastic bags at large shops from this morning. Let's get the weather. Here's Kate.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's a complete contrast to last week's weather. We've lost the high pressure and we'll start to feel that rain arrive shortly. In fact, some little bursts of rain just arriving in parts of Buckinghamshire and Hertfordshire at the moment. But this is soon to be replaced by some heavier, more persistent rain, particularly this afternoon. It is going to become more persistent, accompanied by a strengthening southerly breeze. So wetter and windier. Still mild, though. The maximum temperature still getting up to around 18 Celsius. So not all bad news. Overnight tonight, staying breezy, cloudy. The rain pushes east and northwards, so it will gradually dry out to be replaced by some heavy showers. Maybe a rumble or two of thunder overnight as well. And it's a mild night, minimum down to 13 Celsius. For tomorrow, these showers continue, again heavy and thundery. And as the wind falls lighter tomorrow afternoon, slow moving, so they could produce quite a lot of rain as they take their time to get out of the rain, out of the way. But it is going to stay mild again, 19 Celsius the maximum for Tuesday. That's 66 degrees in Fahrenheit, and that's your forecast.
Oh, bring on the rain. Thank you, Kate. Bring on the rain.
Every weekday from 3.
It's not just about what we bring you.
Starting off on the M25, it's particularly heavy moving anti-clockwise.
It's also about what you bring us.
In the end, I could only eat off my ironing board.
Your stories.
Every room in the house was climbing over mountains of rubbish.
Your humour.
There's a reason why you earn the big bucks, you see. That sort of insightful comment is exactly right.
Your opinions.
Well, the culture's got to change because the police can't do it and the traffic wardens are so busy. So the culture has to change.
I think parents do change into different human beings when they are picking their kids up.
Roberto Perroni.
And everyone across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
Weekdays from 3 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is Edward Adu
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I mean, it's close enough. It's close enough. You're a busy mum, Catherine.
Well,
which is why I've let you off not sewing those buttons onto my shirts that I've asked you to do, but I'm still waiting, and that's why I'm shirtless at the moment. It doesn't matter.
It's very off-putting.
5 pence a bag. Does it bother you?
No. I've got more important things to worry about. I've got loads of bags for life that I need to remember.
Now that makes me want to puke.
What?
Bags for life.
Well, I just need to remember them.
Are they really for life? We just don't know.
They are. And people say, but they get holes in. Yeah, but you're supposed to be able to take them in and they replace them for nout. So suck it up.
Do they? Is that what happens?
That's why it's a bag for life.
Shags, you're a new dad.
Yes.
The 5 pence a bag, does that bother you?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but you can afford it. Look at you, supping on the teat of the BBC as Tony Hall just shoves fivers into your mouth that the public is paying. You can afford it. And you're the reason that people hate the BBC.
I am. You're right.
03459 455.
See you, mate.
Oh, sorry, Justin?
Hey, boss, no, just talking to the people on the streets, asking me where have I been. I said, look, guys, I'm back now, but I had bronch.
No.
But I'm now fit and well.
Listen, for those who don't know, Justin has been away. Hang on a minute, I'm going to play some. Let me play some spooky music. Hang on a second. Got some spooky music here. Hang on, because this is you've been so. No, that's not spooky. hang on. There we go. No, there we go.
Yep.
Because you know
No, hang on. No, I want some. Hang on.
Yeah, that's nice.
I want some, here we go, spooky music. Oh, flipping it, it's Owl City. Hang on, I want some spooky music.
That was a UK #1 as well. MJ. Leave
Yeah,
me
you
alone.
like this.
Hang on, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know who this is now, do you, Catherine? Justin Dealey. Catherine Boyle last week, and I'm praying to God you know. She didn't know who Phil Lynott / was.
Oh, dearie me.
Here we go.
Do you know, Just?
Thin Lizzy.
Of course he knows.
I didn't know this was Thin Lizzy.
Hang on a second.
And also, well, I was going to say, he was in a supergroup as well. He had that Christmas hit as well. Oh, you'll know this. They had a really weird Christmas song. It was Phil, and I think it was somebody from Squeeze and somebody from the Sex Pistols. Yeah, somebody would know. It was a really unusual Christmas song.
Oh, I don't know that one. Hang on. This isn't scary, but let's just get to the end of this, because I can't stop this. Hang on. Here we go. Thank you very much indeed. Okay,
The
right.
Greedies. I think it was the Greedies.
The Greedies. I don't know. Okay. You have actually been, and I'm not making light of this at all. I'm in no way being flippant. Last week, you stared death in the face. The Grim Reaper knocked on your door. You opened it. You sat down. You had a chat. And you basically concluded, not now, geez, I'm not having it. You've not been very well, but you're all right now.
Yes, I had a chat with the devil. I said, boss, it's not my time. So please, can you go and do something? Go and get a kernel or something. Have a bargain bucket for you and your friends, but just leave me alone. And that's what happened.
There we go. Fantastic. It's great to have you back in the light.
Thanks, boss. Means a lot.
Looking healthy, smelling delightful. I've got to say, your little tush is as cute as it's ever been. It really is.
Back at you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Right, so there's 5 pence shopping bags.
Yeah.
For the bigger stores today, you're going to have to pay 5 pence per shopping bag. And people are up in arms about it.
Rightly so as well.
Oh, come on, mate. Why?
I'll tell you why, because it's a bit like the parking scenario for me. If you are going to go into a shop, for argument's sake, I don't know, Asda, okay? So if you're going to go into a shop and spend good money in that shop, why should you have to pay for the bag? They should be footing the bill, not you.
Okay, well, then you might as well get a free bag of chips. Well, why should you have to pay for the chips? Why should you have to pay for the chips?
If you are buying their products, you need something to take their products away with that you've paid for. You should not be paying for that bag. Simple as that.
Hang on a minute, Justin. It's called business. You buy some apples, they give you some apples. They don't give you apples and something else. Sort yourself out. Take some responsibility. Shape up.
When I used to work in B-Jams, this is how old I am. You wouldn't know about B-Jams, Kath, from Europe North.
Of course I do.
When I used to work in B-Jams, at the front, they used to have a pen, an actual pen. And all of the boxes that we used, that had all the we would put in the front, and people would come and take their boxes. They got rid of it. Do you know why they got rid of it, Justin?
Why, boss?
It was a fire hazard. Because it was at the front of the shop. Someone was worried that it might cause a fire, and everyone would be trapped in the shop and would be killed in a really horrific political madness gone mad. That's what it is. But no, listen. Someone has to foot the cost. Why? I just don't understand why the shops should give us stuff for free. We've got to pay for it. And also, once the costs have been taken off, that money goes to charity.
OK then, boss. So what about you this morning? I tell you what, why don't you go and pay for the microphone that you're broadcasting on? Hey, why don't you go and do that?
That literally is the most insane comparison you've ever made.
No, you pay for it. Go on.
Do you know
pay
what?
for it.
I might have to end up paying for a studio because this one is a load of old rubbish. It keeps breaking. Nothing's working this morning again. I can't communicate with Kath secretly. She can't hear me if I'm doing the radio. They've got to wear head. None of it's working.
Bless you.
So I might dip in my pocket and spend a few quid as long as I've got an office that works. Justin, you're wrong on this one, mate, but you've taken it to the streets. What
have
do people
indeed.
have to say?
A lot of people this morning going out getting their shopping had no idea they would have to pay 5 pence for their bags from today, so they weren't particularly happy. Here's what the streets had to say.
No, I was not happy. I was not happy. It's not like they've increased the value of the bag or the bags are stronger. They're still as flimsy. They still break, and it's an extra 15p on my shopping.
15p is not much, though. Come on.
Yeah, it's still 15p. 15p is a lot. Sometimes if I was to be 15p short on an article, they wouldn't let me take it away, would they? So
why shouldn't you have to pay?
I think it should be just part of the service. That's what I think. I think, you do your shopping and, your shopping's not cheap. Everything's gone up as it is.
Thanks very much, madam. Yeah. 15p. I think you'll get over it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah. Go and take a chill pill.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose they've got to do something, to be honest. And we do all just put our bags in the bin when we get home. So, this might make people think a bit more.
So how's it going to make you change then? Because this morning you had no idea. You've now paid 5 pence for your bags, your 2 bags.
Yep.
How will you change?
By recycling them all.
So it will make a difference?
It will to me, yeah. I've already got some in the boot, but I forgot them.
OK, well, there you go. It's an interesting point. Thank you.
OK.
I don't agree with it personally, because you're already paying money to get the goods from whatever shop you're going to, so why should I have to charge you for bags? And the more money you spend on the more food, the more money you have to spend on bags. You should be rewarded for spending money.
Okay, so they should be paying for it, not you then?
Well, they should be paying for the bags. They paid for them before. Why all of a sudden have we got to shell out?
It's only 5p though, boss.
Soon mounts up, doesn't it?
OK, cheers.
I have no problem with it at all. Yeah. I just take bags with me whenever anyway.
How many bags have you got on you now?
Just the one.
Yeah. What if you had to buy 50 carrier bags though?
Well, why would you?
What if you made a big impulsive purchase?
Well, then you'd pay for it, wouldn't you? That's only it's £5.50, £2.50.
What if it was 100 bags?
Well, I wouldn't. Again, it's only £5.
You got him at the end, mate.
I did. Great music. Great use of music.
That fitted. That was pure coincidence. Chance I had that. That fitted better than I could ever have hoped. Right. Okay. We've got a couple of minutes. It means we've got 03459 455 555. By the way, if you want to give us a call, it means we've got time for one more of these. Oh no! Hang on a second. My computer's gone. I believe the phrase is to cock. Hang on a second. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I read the headline that really has very little to do with the story. Hard town. Hard town. Shags, we're going to start with you.
Is it about figures suggest that the hardest town in the UK is Milton Keynes?
No.
Depends what you mean by hard.
I mean, as in tough.
No.
No? Oh.
Justin?
I think this, I don't know whether it's local, but I think this has got something to do with concrete. I think maybe a town centre has been pedestrianised somewhere in the UK and they're using the hardest concrete in the world. That's why it's now officially the UK's hardest town.
No.
Am I right? No? Okay.
No, you're incorrect.
I think it's got to be something to do with Brighton or Blackpool. Because of the rock, right? And someone's built a massive replica of one of those places out of rock, making a hard town.
It's one of those times when you should have gone... We needed Kelly Betts. England's sex drug capital...
Eh? Oh.
By sex drug, they mean Viagra. is Iron Lady Margaret Thatcher's hometown. The most prescriptions per patient for erectile dysfunction pills, Viagra, are issued in Grantham, Lincolnshire. Ooh. The Reverend Jane Campbell said, "We've been voted England's most boring town. This is another form of recognition, something to be proud of."
Well, they've all got a problem.
I would love to be a street dog there this morning.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, it's really slow on the M1 this morning. Southbound there's a queue from junction 13 on and off all the way down to junction 7. Northbound I've just spotted is also slow, heading up towards Luton at junction 10. Can't see anything on the cameras, but I can see the queues, but no accidents or incidents. Quick check on the M25 anti-clockwise, slow moving 22 round to 20, and the A4146 Stoke Hammond bypass partially blocked southbound with an accident. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much, James. Cheers, my dears. So, you're angry, really, about 5 pence per bag? There'll be a lot of people today getting their knickers in a twist, but, I mean, honestly, it's nothing, is it?
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock, I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines: the St Albans sinkhole was on the site of an old clay mine. A 16-year-old boy is killed in Western Turville, and shoppers charged for plastic bags from this morning.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Work will continue this morning to fill a large sinkhole which appeared in St Albans. People who live in Fontmell Close have been unable to return to their homes since the collapse last Thursday. Dr Tim Sands, an expert in geology at the University of Hertfordshire, wants to find out the extent of the problem in the city.
One of the things we could do is to use old records, old maps and so on. And in the past we've had students working on projects at the university looking at old mine workings through old maps, and also using perhaps some techniques to look below the ground surface.
A 16-year-old boy has been knocked down by a car and killed in Buckinghamshire. The accident happened near the rugby club in Western Turville on Saturday evening. A man from High Wycombe and two others are due to go on trial today, accused of an alleged beheading plot. Meanwhile, a man arrested at Luton Airport is also due to stand trial for terror offences. Carol Abercrombie has the details.
19-year-old Yusuf Shah Syed was arrested in raids 3 days before Remembrance Sunday last November. He and two other men are accused of plotting to carry out a beheading. Meanwhile, Yahya Rashid from Willesden is accused of helping to smuggle people into Syria and will appear at Woolwich Crown Court. He was arrested by police at Luton Airport after landing on a plane from Turkey.
Shoppers will have to pay at least 5 pence for plastic bags at supermarkets and large shops from this morning. The government hopes it will cut their use by 80%. But Jonathan Isaby from Taxpayers Alliance says it's been overcomplicated.
There's certain things that you can put in a bag for free. Other times you're going to have to pay for a bag. Big shops, you have to pay for bags. Smaller shops, you don't. And what it comes down to is an attack on consumers and indeed retailers, because consumers are going to have the cost of living increase and retailers have got to deal with the bureaucracy.
A disabled woman from Dunstable says the council won't install an outside plug socket so she can charge her mobility scooter. Teresa Howe is currently running an extension cable out of her flat window, but she says the council's told her the plug sockets for scooters don't come into their budget.
Being in the position that I'm in, I can't move into sheltered accommodation because I'm not old enough, which would be suitable for me. So I'm stuck in the property that I'm in, and you would think that they would be willing to put in a plug socket, because that's all it is, a plug socket, so that a disabled person can keep their independence.
In sport, Liverpool have sacked manager Brendan Rodgers after 3.5 years in charge, and Ireland are through to the quarter-finals of the Rugby World Cup. The weather will be windy and cloudy with rain for most of the day. Top temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/Three Counties.
Wayne, why are you listening to us? In regards to the last story about Grantham being the hardest town. Yeah, in that way. Wayne says, I live in Grantham and it is boring. Morning, Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. Busy show this morning, lots to talk about. Rock stars in wheelchairs. So far, we got the Dave Grohl, Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries, Vic Chestnut, Robert Wyatt, Teddy Pendergrass, somebody tweeted. Yep, good one. Is that it? A handful? There must be more. 03459 455 555. Why is everyone so upset about 5 pence a bag? I mean, really? I've not looked at the... I tell you what, let's look at the front page of the Mail. I bet they're furious.
Cross beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, the front page of the Mail does not disappoint, Catherine.
Are they livid?
As 5 pence charge starts in England, shoppers face tangle of red tape. The headline? Plastic bags, chaos looms.
What? Bagageddon.
Shoppers? This is outrageous. It's taken two people to write this story, Mr.
They're
Sean
calling
Porter
for a
and Rosie
riot,
Tan.
aren't they?
Shoppers will be charged 5 pence for every plastic carrier bag they use from today in a bid to halt the damage being caused to our planet. But the scheme being introduced in many stores across England, it's already, I think, in Northern Ireland and I've just been told in Wales. risks becoming a shambles because of the bizarre and complicated rules introduced by ministers, campaigners warn. It's not a shambles. You go to a big shop, you pay 5p. You go to a small shop, you don't pay 5p. Polls show most people support the charge, which follows... Oh, no! Oh!
What have the polls got to do with it?
My eyes deceive me. I'm reading this story and the words just suddenly flipped. Hang on a second. Oh, Daily Mail, you confuse me. Polls show most people support the charge, which follows the Daily Mail's Banish the Bags campaign.
Oh.
To reduce the terrible damage to the environment caused by the billions of plastic bags given away every year. However, critics say the red tape surrounding the scheme will confuse and anger shoppers, meaning the predicted 70% reduction in bags issued at tills will not be delivered. And while 4p of each charge will go to charities, George Osborne has angered campaigners by insisting the Treasury will take the remaining 1p in VAT. Well, that's the Mail in favour of this. In fact, they're claiming
it's all their idea.
It was all their idea.
Will nobody think of the turtles?
I mean, oh gosh, I'm going to play a Turtles song tomorrow. Every week that Mark Volman of the Turtles, indeed Flo and Eddie, is having chemotherapy, we're going to play a Turtles or indeed a Flo and Eddie song. Every week that's going to happen. So expect to hear a lot of Turtles and a lot of Flo. Let's hope we don't get to hear many Turtles and Flo and Eddie songs. Let's hope his chemo is short and he comes out the other side. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number. Can someone tell me why you're so angry about the 5p a bag? Because listen, you're going to hear today lots of very, very angry people, and I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Now, an old clay mine is the cause of the 60-foot wide sinkhole in St Albans. That's according to the British Geological Survey, who've been examining the hole, which opened up overnight in Fontmell Close on Thursday. They've confirmed the street has been built over old Victorian brickworks, which had left the underground holes where clay had been mined. Dr. Tim Sands is an expert in geology at the University of Hertfordshire and joins me now. Morning, Tim.
Good morning.
It's likely that people knew about what had gone on underground before these homes were built. Should they have been built in this area?
Well, although clay pits are shown on the map, one of the old Ordnance Survey maps, it's quite possible that whoever developed this hadn't looked at those maps and wasn't sure about those clay pits.
Is it not de rigueur then to kind of look? I thought you'd have had to have looked at all of the old maps to see exactly what had been going on, just in case.
That's certainly true today.
Right.
And,
okay.
I think with the knowledge that we have today of subsidence and the knowledge of and the free access to old maps, I think that would certainly be the case.
And are these maps that accurate? Because there are some areas where these kind of mines have been filled in. There's some where they haven't been filled in. How much detail do they go into?
Well, in this particular case, I've had a look at one of the old maps, and certainly it shows clay pits in this area. It also shows brick kilns and lime kilns, and the possibility is that lime was put into a kiln and used in the brick making or in mortar. And lime probably comes from the chalk, and chalk is underlying this area.
So are you saying that the lime and the chalk would actually make this area even weaker?
Well, chalk can be obtained from mines in this area, which are underground. And certainly in other places in Hertfordshire, there are chalk mines.
Other mines? Are there other places where people should be concerned?
I think that there's currently some geophysical investigation going on in the site, and therefore I think they would be able to find these mines using those geophysical techniques.
Yeah. Should people be worried, Tim? There will be people, I'm guessing, in neighbouring streets who are thinking, flipping it, this might happen to us at some point.
Well, I wouldn't like to speculate on that because I think until the geophysical survey is carried out, it would be difficult to know the extent of any further cavities.
And we've had a few sinkholes, crown holes, whatever you want to call them, recently. They've all happened in streets as in actually in the road or a driveway. Is that pure luck? Is there a chance that it could happen in someone's living room?
I think that what tends to happen is that there has to be some leakage of water in order to help the ground move into a cavity. And therefore that's likely to occur where there are drains or mains water pipe, which have been leaking.
OK, well, let's keep our fingers crossed there's no more of these. Tim, thank you very much indeed. Let's hope someone can film a cavity. Guys, anyone? 03459 455 555. Catherine, no? You like that?
They've got some quick drying concrete. I'm sure that would help.
Let's just hope someone can film a cavity.
Mm.
I used to work with Film a Cavity. My nickname at school. Kev's on the line. Morning, Kev.
Good morning, Ian.
What you got for us, boss?
2:21. Oh, no, sorry, that was Saturday.
We don't know that it was 2:21.
Yes, we do.
You think you do? We had everybody, for those who missed Saturday's, and let's be generous, car crash of a show, midday till 2. Don't worry, I know how to fix it. The majority of it was spent trying to solve a very, very complicated maths problem. Hello?
Yes.
That's it. You claim you got the answer, but no, only one person agreed with you. Several others disagreed. Anyway, let's not have that again. Plastic bags.
Yeah. Plastic bags. Conspiracy theory. If you shop online, who decides how many plastic bags you're going to have?
You're talking about services like Ocado and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
We are very middle class, and occasionally we use Ocado.com. And I'll be honest, yes, of course. And it's your dollar paying for it, so thanks for that, guys. And they really don't put much stuff in the bags at all. They underpack those bags. But then I heard, it was Lee, in fact, who's doing the news today. Didn't he say at the weekend that if you keep the bags from that particular displayer, and Shaggy's nodding, so that means I'm going to have to open his microphone despite all my best intentions. Ocado buy those bags off you.
That's right. My mum and dad used the same thing, and they were told by their delivery man because they were going to give the bags back because they do the recycling. Yeah, they were going to do the recycling thing, and the guy said, "No, keep them. Next week we refund 5p back off your bill."
Well, hang on. So are they Are they buying them off you, or
are you
they
renting them?
Are you renting those bags? Is it a bag rental system?
I think it's like, do you remember when you used to get fizzy pop in like a glass bottle and you get money back when you gave it back?
Yes, I do.
So rental.
So I think, is that a rental?
It works out that way.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and Kev, thank you for your contribution. Always appreciated. Here's the thing: how many people over the age of, I'm going to say 50, because I didn't used to do it. My dad used to do it. The fizzy pop bottles you could take back, or also the
Soda?
The seltzers. What are they called?
Soda siphons.
Soda siphons. Is that what they're called? Why have I got the word seltzer? I don't know.
Probably a brand.
You got money back for them as well. You don't see that. You used to see those in people's houses the whole time. You don't see those anymore, do you? Gosh. You get 5 pence back. And my dad, and if you did this, do let me know, they used to store all of those recyclable bottles out the back. So he'd just go round, climb over, shinny over the wall, get into the back of the shop, into like the little courtyard outside, get as many bottles as he could under his arm, shinny back over the wall, go around the front and get his money back, get even more money.
Proper Cockney.
Proper Cockney. Morning, Rog.
Morning.
What you got for us, Roger?
Paying for plastic bags I think is a very good idea and a bit late coming as well.
Tell me why it's a good idea. Because being honest, I'm not that fussed about it, but I'm erring on the side of it's a good idea. I certainly don't understand why people are so furious about it, but go on.
I can't understand why anybody would be furious over a plastic bag. Sounds a bit weird to me, but...
Why? Tell me why it's a good idea.
There's too much plastic, and that plastic bags do account for a significant amount. I'm upset that the Chancellor wants to take a penny out of it.
The thing is, right, it's not going to save the planet, is it? And it's not even going to come close to saving the planet, is it?
On its own, no, but I hate to advertise other companies, but every little does help.
Okay, well, there we go. He's got in. That's a slogan for one of the companies, and I can't think which. It's the one that shows the lady's bottom, isn't it? Is that it? Every little helps. Asda. So she taps her mighty fine motherly bottom. Tesco, Asda.
I don't know. One of them.
Well, our Shags.
It's Tesco. The bottom is Asda.
Right, mate. If you could not... Did you say that, but it's the same advert?
No, they're different adverts.
No.
No. The one you're referring to
Every little helps.
That's
Every little helps.
Shall I ring our Ellen?
No.
Because she works at Asda.
No. Right. Can we...
No, it's the wrong slogan. When she slaps the butt, that's Asda price.
I've got
ching,
to...
ching.
I've got to say, if you could please, this isn't the reason I'm reluctant to open your microphone, please mention no specific name brands, Shags, for goodness sakes. Catherine and I have avoided it for the whole conversation.
The whole way through.
But it's definitely, is it? But the Every Little Helps, is that Tesco or Asda?
That's well, you're mixing them up.
Well, it's to say she taps her bum and she looks at the camera coquettishly and says, "Every little helps."
Can you?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, was it Tesco or Asda?
Well, Every Little Helps is Tesco.
I've asked you, mate. I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to turn your microphone down. I've asked you specifically. Please don't mention any brand names, mate. It's the BBC.
Guys.
But which one is it? Is it Tesco or Asda?
Neither. Both.
Can you stop the self-spanking? I'm caught in a sandwich and I don't
I've got
like
a
it.
self-spanking sandwich. Oh!
Travel news.
Chance to be a fine thing.
And bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The Stoke-Hammond bypass is partially blocked southbound from Drayton Road down towards Leighton Buzzard. It's all because of an accident in between the Lakes Estate and Leighton Buzzard itself. There's a queue from the A5. Really slow on the A41 southbound from just east of Bourne End, and the A414 long delays westbound from the London Coney roundabout up to Park Street. Not helped by the accident earlier, as well as drivers avoiding the M25. Now the M25 anti-clockwise in patches is slow. Well, I'd say now from the A1M all the way down to the M40 because of mainly that accident earlier at junction 20, as well as usual Monday morning queues. The M1's not looking too good at all. Northbound is now slow for some reason between junctions 9 and 10 heading up towards Luton. Can't see any accident on camera. Southbound is slow moving from 13 down to 10 on the sensors, and also problems for the A1M. Southbound is slow moving passing Stevenage, usual delays there, and the A10 really slow into London from just south of Cheshunt, to be called because of the works in Enfield at Carterhatch Lane. M40, that's very busy out of London from the Swakeleys roundabout. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, James Worley. Muchos apreciados, as we say, Don La Mexico. Where are we now? 8:17. It's Monday, the 5th of October. I'm Iain Lee. It's still dark out. It's really dark out. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. It's been confirmed that a large crown hole in St Albans was on the site of an old clay mine. A 16-year-old boy has died after being knocked down in Western Turville, and shoppers will be charged for plastic bags at large shops and supermarkets from this morning. Maybe I've got it wrong then. Because I thought the Mail would be out. It actually turns out the Mail have... lots of you have been pointing it out, and thank you. The Mail have been having a big campaign about this for quite some time to get rid of plastic bags. So maybe... And we've not been inundated. All the callers we've had have said, actually, yeah, it's good. We've had a couple of tweets where people have said, oh, it's outrageous, and they're branded, we shouldn't be paid to advertise. But we shouldn't be paying to advertise. But... maybe nobody's bothered. Maybe it's a radio phone-in construct that pretends, that has created this idea that people are outraged. Maybe nobody's outraged. Maybe nobody's even vaguely angry about it at all.
I spoke to someone who was vaguely irked about it. Well, worried, actually. The guy who works behind the checkout at my local branch of Tesco's.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's working the late shift tonight, and he hates the idea that he's going to have to break it to people who are... Have you ever been to Tesco's late at night?
Oh, man. It's you know that TV series, The Walking Dead? I think that's where they got the idea for it from. I mean, it's just... and they will eat your flesh if you get too close to them.
Yeah, so, I mean, good luck to him.
Ah, dear. We had Roger on the line, but Roger appears to have...
he's dropped out, has he?
Roger has dropped out, but that's fine. It means I get to do this.
Every weekday morning.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Morning. Do you think it's right to tell 1 million disabled people they should get off benefits and find a job?
Have your say on today's big phone-in.
People who are going to be a nuisance are going to be a nuisance regardless of whether there are things to do.
Is it true that people over the age of 65 drink far too much booze?
The JVS show fights for your rights and tackles your consumer problems.
Waited and the receipt came out, but the cash didn't.
It's become a problem of late because obviously the trees got bigger as we've got here.
We couldn't shut the French windows. It would appear that they'd buckled.
I had a phone call from my daughter saying if we don't get off the train, they're going to hand us over to the British Transport Police.
The JVS show, weekdays from 9 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
We're going to quickly go to Roger. Mick Dillon joins me in the studio. Mick, we'll come to you in a second. You're not going to hear Roger. I'm suspecting he's got nothing. I've judged him a bit too harshly already. Roger.
Yeah.
What you got for us, boss?
Again, I think it's a good idea that they charge for plastic bags.
Hang on, did we just talk to you?
Yeah.
The world has gone. The world has
Tesco
gone
has some
upside down, topsy-turvy. Has someone spiked Shags and myself, and indeed the lady, Catherine, with LSD? Is there some kind of...
You said we'd lost him. I thought you hadn't finished.
Well, I didn't know. Shags, what we need to do.
Well,
No, listen, don't worry, Roger.
Gone on a bit longer, true.
When the call is done, you need to wipe the screen, because I'm going to assume... Because otherwise I'm going to think that I'm on LSD.
Sorry.
I'm on LSD.
If you are, can you send something out to the listeners?
We're on LSD. Roger, can I touch your face? Look at my hand. Just look at the hand.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is Edward Adu.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
OK. A Dunstable woman is hitting out at Central Beds Council for refusing to help her charge her mobility scooter. At the moment, Teresa Howe has to drop an extension cable out of her council flat window. Well, the council's refusing to install an outside socket, saying it's not part of their general day-to-day budget. Mick Dillon is from the Disability Resource Centre in Dunstable, and while I'm speaking to Mick, somebody's going to print this script off for me and hand it to me in a printed form so I can look at my guest, because, once again, the studio is not built... It's not built for radio, Mick. Why would it do that?
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, we know that this lady has been helped. Teresa has been helped a lot with the occupational therapy, and they have helped make adaptations to the property she lives in. Are the council does it behove them to put a PowerPoint outside her home? Do they have to do it?
The answer is no, but the logical answer is that, when she had all the assessments, and it's all central beds, all in one go, which is helpful, that they should look at the holistic solution. And anybody who has a scooter, it's worth thinking how you're going to use it, park it, store it, charge it, etc. And so it's worth thinking about all of those things, because leaving it outside, it could be hijacked. I thought the store would actually run to health and safety, would say you can't possibly charge it outside, draped out the window. You can get lockable, wet-proof external boxes and a switch inside. And I'd have thought the cost of that could be £200-400. It's deceptive how much these things can cost. So I think the first thing is there seems to be a missed opportunity, and all the major works, the wet room and things were done, that actually a very simple, quite cost-effective bit of work, which is hugely important to her, has been missed off. And I suppose part of the thing is that any investments to adapting and changing a property, it may cost a few quid, but actually it's cheaper because it keeps those residents out of kind of warden homes or homes that would cost the council more money. Well, I think the current trend now is about health and well-being, and someone's independence, they can still come and go and do what they want, and if you take that away because of the cost, the price of a socket outside, then of course they're going to be more reliant, and it won't just be about warden control or sheltered accommodation, something much more serious. Teresa says that if she was over 65, there will be a lot more support to her, but because she's 40, it's harder. Is that the case? It's an interesting juxtapose of, disability. Is it age-related? The answer is not exclusively. And the local authority does split into, children up to 18, 65 and over. And a lot of the provision can be in the older category. And sometimes small adaptations and solutions for older people making huge difference. But, there are a number of people working age, which is the key, who would benefit from probably a more holistic approach. Allow me to play devil's advocate for a second, Mick. When we spoke to Teresa, while she had conversations with the council, she hadn't made any investigations herself as to how much it would cost to put a socket in, and she's, and she sounded like she would be able to make that phone call, get a couple of electricians out, and get a quote. Is there? And I'm going to try and phrase this sensitively, but it's going to come out crass, so I'm just going to blunder through it. Actually, there are some people who, it could be said, and I'm not saying this of this lady at all, but expect everything for free, and they expect everything to be done for them, when actually they're capable of doing a lot of stuff for themselves. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think we all know people like that who get things who shouldn't, and actually expect the world to provide for them, and life isn't like that. I think you could help yourself. I think it's important to show willing. I think this will become a harder case, to get this next 200 or 300, 400 quid sorted out, because you're going back for a fresh application. You're going back for something extra, and no matter what is in life, when you have someone in front of you doing the general approach to all the bits and pieces you need, look at all the scenarios you need. So it's going to be harder work to get this last bit done. There'll be electricians listening, and it's about getting accredited NICIE electricians, 3 quotes, and you'll get a price range even within 3 quotes.
Yeah.
So as 3 Counties resident architect, it's really getting the job done properly.
I'm surprised that she parks the scooter outside. I've never seen a scooter parked outside overnight. Permanently, you see it outside boozers and stuff.
That's the trouble, you see.
Well, they're
just an empty socket.
They're easy to get. They're easy to nick, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, I also when electric cars are plugged in, but of course they link into the horn and they're locked and secure, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
But scooters are literally just plug in and go.
Yeah. And they have a key, but it's not the most sophisticated key. I'm sure you could.
I could hotwire it, couldn't you? Really?
Yeah, I think you could. Yes.
Raid and hotwire.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think it comes back to if you're going to look at a scooter, which is potentially the right solution for someone who is, can do a certain amount, but that last little bit is a bit too much in one go. A scooter is a solution, but think about where you're going to store it, charge it. If it can't live inside the house, is it the right solution? Is the house the right solution? And unfortunately, some disability can have a huge impact on the whole lifestyle.
Mick, always good to talk to you. Thank you very, very much indeed.
Pleasure.
Did the studio work for you?
Yeah, you're looking very dapper today in your Monkeys t-shirt.
Monkeys t-shirt, isn't it? I've decided I'm 42. I'm a dad now. I'm going to start wearing 42?
more.
42? Yeah.
Really?
You cheeky, get out of it. Out, go on. And I know it's going to take you a while because you've got to do like a 6-point turn, but I'm going to be watching.
I just ran.
Exactly. Nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is Edward Adu
on BBC 3 Counties Radio.
Really need to change those. Really need to change those jingles so they are appropriate. 03459 455 555. Now Tom Jones is in a lot of the newspapers today. Are the kids at school yet, Catherine?
They'll be on their way. They'll be setting out.
Oh, they'll be in the car.
Careful.
Well, then I probably can't do the Tom Jones story. Well, the Tom Jones story. Do you want to get that? The Tom Jones story is that he's got a book out. Oh, what a surprise! He's got a book out just after he's been sacked off by the BBC. Okay, well the timing there suggests to me. The timing there suggests to me that the BBC said to him a long time ago, "Look, mate, we're going to give you the sack, but if you want, we can tie it in with your book so you get a nice run of press." The story that's in the papers is, "My reclusive wife has lost her spark," says Sir Tom. Sir Tom, by the way, a man who famously put it about a lot. For half a century, she's endured living in the limelight of her superstar husband's career and his numerous affairs. So perhaps it's no surprise that, according to Sir Tom, we'll do Darren after the news, his wife Linda has lost her spark. Well, that's nice of him to say, isn't it? That's nice.
Yeah, that might happen after years of that.
Speaking ahead of the release of his autobiography this week, he admitted that while he loved the spotlight, Linda, 75, had always preferred being at home. His book reveals that at their Los Angeles home, Linda has retreated into herself, smoking heavily and doing so away from others to avoid filling their living rooms with cigarette fumes. I've realised she's had a depression since she was young, he told the Sunday Times magazine. She's always had a touch of it. He enjoyed... I don't think she really enjoyed getting out and about, and I think she was happy with being in the house. He's had affairs at left, right, and centre, and I mean that literally and geographically. He's been all over the shop. Here's the thing. I'm going to do an LBC tease here, like they do on LBC now, as I've been told to. Do you know? Well, unless you know the answer, do you know what Tom Jones has a nickname for his
Little Tom.
For his little Tom. Tom Jones calls his little Tom something, and it's not little Tom. Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you after this.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC 3 Counties Radio.
It's really slow on the northbound M1. We've tried to find out what's going on the cameras, but nothing's been reported. Northbound 9 to 11 slow, that's Redbourne up towards the Dunstable exit. Southbound is still very heavy in patches from just south of junction 13 down towards Toddington services, and then it eases off a little bit. Moving on to Luton, Dunstable Road is partially blocked with an accident at Waller Avenue near the car dealership, and the A4146 to Stoke Hammond bypass, queuing southbound from Water Eaton down towards the Stoke Hammond roundabouts after an accident. In fact, there's a queue from the A5. A414 London Coney to Park Street westbound still very slow this morning. Usual congestion on the A1M southbound at Stevenage, and the Northern Line in London on the Underground suspended between High Barnet and Camden Town, as well as from Mill Hill East to Camden because of a signal failure at Tufnell Park. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines. Experts say a large sinkhole which appeared on a street in St Albans is on the site of an old clay mine. Work will continue this morning to fill it with foam concrete. A 16-year-old boy has been knocked down by a car and killed in Buckinghamshire. The accident happened near the rugby club in Western Turville on Saturday evening. And shoppers will have to pay at least 5 pence for plastic bags at supermarkets and large shops from this morning. The government hopes it will dramatically cut their use. The weather will be windy and cloudy today. Top temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Liverpool have sacked their manager Brendan Rodgers. He was dismissed shortly after the club's 1-1 draw in the Merseyside derby yesterday. The Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger praised Rodgers' record.
I think he's a quality manager. Unfortunately, the pressure is always bigger on the managers. I think what he has done at Liverpool, he was very unlucky not to win the Premiership. He was the closest certainly to win the Premiership of all the managers who have been working for the club. But that's the way it goes now.
Watford drew 1-1 with Bournemouth in the Premier League, and the MK Dons got a draw in the Championship. Luton Town secured their 4th win in a row in League 2 with a 4-1 victory at Hartlepool. Assistant manager Terry Harris praised his side's goalkeeper.
We're fortunate that we got 2 top-class goalkeepers in my eyes at the club, and pulled off some very good saves today. You know, we weren't particularly happy with our overall sort of defending really as such. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, I mean, as I said, he was very, very good today, Mark Tyler.
Elsewhere, it was defeat for Wycombe Wanderers and Stevenage. In rugby, England's head coach Stuart Lancaster says he'll decide whether to resign after the World Cup. England were knocked out of the competition after losing to Australia. Ireland are through to the quarter-finals, beating Italy 16-9, but coach Joe Schmidt says they'll need to improve if they want to beat France in next Sunday's Pool D decider.
We want to be in the quarter-finals. I'm not sure performance-wise where we want to be. Italy made it very, very difficult for us today. They're a very tough physical team, and it's nice to escape with the result really, because we felt that it would be tough leading into the game, and it delivered exactly what we suspected it would.
And that's BBC Three Counties News and Sport, with more at 9 o'clock.
Shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay. Shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay.
Well, the shoop, shoop dance for the mood you're in, and the diddy rock mean let the fun begin. It's a feeling gonna sit your suits is reeling, and you can't sit still. Come on, mean what you thought, that's right. And the way ain't gonna get you through the night time, baby, that's the right time if you wanna lose control.
Shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay.
Shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay, shoop, shoop, diddy, come away, nay.
Justin Dealey, he's stared death in like Bill and Ted in A Bogus Journey. He's been to the other side. When you came back to life, was there a bright light? I mean, were there people there saying, Justin, it's not your time, and you travelled back to the light? Is that how it worked?
Bizarrely, when I came back to life, I could hear Shawaddy Waddy Under the Moon of Love
in my mind.
Wowzers!
It meant a lot.
Spiritual.
Mm.
You were away last week. We were playing. Kiri called in. It was a really weird call. She went, "I've got a phone in." It's like, what? All right. I think she'd been drinking very, very heavily. I've got a phone in. Songs that have got the word wang in.
Oh,
yeah. Are you aware of this song? Shoop, shoop, diddy wop, come a wang dang.
No. Do you know this one? What's it called again?
Shoop. I've got to read it and be very careful. Shoop, shoop, diddy wop, come a wang dang.
No, but it sounds amazing.
It really is absolutely amazing, Dealey. It's so nice to have you back.
Good to be back.
It's so nice to have you back. Before the break, so Tom Jones,
Wang Chung.
Beg your pardon?
Wang Chung.
Yeah, okay. It's a game you've got to play so carefully. We had. What were the others? We had this one. Shoop, shoop, diddy wop, come.
Wang dang.
Wang dang. We had Wang Chung and everybody Wang Chung tonight. There was. What was the?
What she heard it in? She heard it was a wang that wasn't there that she heard, wasn't it?
What
Kiri?
about that R&B tune? There was an R&B tune with Wang.
You're not thinking of the Wu-Tang Clan?
Maybe.
That was Tang.
Was it Tang? It was close.
But there was there was the one about.
Shoot.
I'm trying, and it's my favourite. It was, and I can't remember who did it. It was the guy, the boring guy that did it. It was about a dance. The old guy. I wish.
I know. Yeah.
Lost Del Rio.
No, it was a really a sort of a crooner.
It was a crooner.
Something about the Wang Bossa Nova or something.
Maybe it was the Bossa Nova. It was.
Or the Samba. Wang Samba.
Maybe it was the Wang. It wasn't.
Fair play to Kiri. That is a great phone-in.
I mean, it's calls like that you. Listen quickly. Someone. I know that we're doing last week's phone-in again, but for goodness sakes, the man died. And this man is in many ways, and please don't take offence at this, anyone. He's our own Christ. He died, and he rose again. And thank you for that. So very quickly, someone tweet me. What the hell was the song that was by an old crooner that had the word wang in? Because it came from absolutely nowhere. Quickly tweet me or text 81333. Start your text 3CR. While we're here, this is what got you in.
Yeah.
Tom Jones, legend.
Yeah.
Famously put it around all over the place.
But people loved it.
Well.
But do you know what it was called? It had a name. It had a name, and and I know this is a fact because I think he said it in interviews. Right. Howard Kalin from the Turtles, famously writes about in his book when they did a tour together in 1965, and he said that Tom Jones, there'd be like screaming fans bashing on the tour bus, and Howard would sit next to Tom Jones. And he couldn't be heard because it was really thick glass. And Tom would say, "Oh, girls, you love it, don't you, girls? You'd love to have a go on." And then he would say the name of his shoop.
I think I've got it.
Come, wanga, ding dong.
Eric.
No.
I bet I know what it is. You said it wasn't a small name. Was it Clan Vapus Kangago Gair Queen Robert Lancilio Go Go Go?
Oh, listen to you, Liam Dutton. Look at you. No. It was. Let's see if Shags wants to have a go. He's libelled us with supermarkets already. We have to apologise for that. Go on, then. What do you reckon?
Pussycat.
Oh gosh!
Oh, that's new, Pussycat. Yeah. Whoa! You ready, ladies and gentlemen? Tom Jones used to call his member Wendell. Oh, girls, you'd love to have a look at old Wendell, wouldn't you?
That sounds like a tramp.
Why Wendell?
Don't know.
Come on, there's got to be some sort of reason behind it.
Don't know. Oh, I've just found it.
Was there a place called Wendell that he went to and he no, I won't say that.
Don't think about it. No, it don't bear thinking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, I found the song. This you're in for a treat, Justin. Whoever thought that we'd be playing Mr. Pat Boone on the show pretty much 2 days to...
They did the wang dang taffy apple tango. They did the wang dang taffy apple tango.
There we go, Justin.
Wow.
Songs.
Can I have some more phone-ins like that, please, for the streets? Well, where's Kiri? Kiri, please. I need some more of this stuff.
Kiri, you keep on drinking, sister. Justin, it's a pleasure to have you back. And
good to be back.
we'll speak to you later. We'll speak to you tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, thank you.
You're done now. You can knock off.
Nice T-shirt.
Thank you very much indeed, the Monkeys. You can go and prep for your breakfast show on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday breakfast
6
this
till 9.
weekend. 6 till 9, yes. I think we've got Gareth Gates on this weekend, so we're kicking off with the big names.
Very nice bloke. Can I ask a favour? Don't do what David Prever did. He rips the papers to shreds, so then when we come in, the papers are all to shreds.
Don't worry, everything's going to be nice and calm.
Of course.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
Everything's under control.
I don't believe that for a second. Thank you, Dealey. Speak to you later on. Ta-ta. Darren's in the Clapper. Morning, Darren.
Morning.
Why aren't you listening to BBC London with Paul Ross and that lady?
Don't listen to that.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right not to. It sucks. It sucks. This is where the action is. What you got for us, Darren?
This carry bag business, it's really taking a Michael, as far as I'm concerned.
Tell me
How
why.
can they be charging 5p per bag? It's gone from 0 to 5p.
It's a bargain, isn't it? Are you saying they should be charging more? Because it does seem rather cheap to me.
They shouldn't be charging at all.
Why?
Well, listen, I've heard some figures this morning, right? And they're saying one big place, they sell 700 million bags a year.
Yes.
That's how many bags they go for. 5p a bag, that's 35 million quid.
Yeah, the money goes to charity.
Yeah, but does it?
Well, yeah, it does. But 4 pence goes to charity, according to the Daily Mail. 5.4 billion bags a year, right?
Yeah.
The new here we go. 4 pence of each charge will go to charities, and George Osborne takes a penny in VAT.
Oh, there you go then. It's a money-making scheme. That's all it is. Well, the thing is, right, if they were putting 5p on a pint or 5p on a packet of cigarettes, everyone would be going mental. Everybody would be up in arms. But because it's a carry bag and it's maybe doing the world a load of good and all the rest.
Oh, yeah, there's that side to it as well. It's going to save the planet for my kids.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
But I don't understand. But tell me why it's ridiculous, Darren, because this is what I don't get. I'm really not that fussed about it, but I'm erring on the side of it's a good idea.
I went shopping about 2 weeks ago and they tried to charge for my bags. You know what I done? I walked out, left all the shopping on the conveyor belt thing, and it was left there. So I'm not paying for the bags. I said last week they were free.
So hang on. So some poor kid or old woman who's on minimum wage has then got to put your shopping back.
It keeps them in a job.
But they've got jobs. They don't want their job of putting your Nescafe and your tabs back.
No. You put it totally wrong.
No, but tell me. Okay, tell me. This is what I don't get, right? And this is what no one's been able to explain, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why you should get your bags for free.
Because they're given for free. That's why.
They've given them for free so far. Yeah, okay. But
charging for stuff.
They've given them for free so far, but they've stopped that now. So why should you get your bags for free?
Why not? Why shouldn't you? Tell me why I shouldn't.
No. That's not the question, right? Okay, I'll tell you why you shouldn't. Because it's costing the shops money and it's killing the planet. There's 2 reasons why you shouldn't get them for free. You flip it and tell me why you should get them for free.
Killing the planet bit I can understand, but is it actually really killing the planet? Is it?
Well, yeah. It's part of the it's part of the problem. We are peoples that are addicted to oil, and guess what? There ain't enough oil to keep going forever, and plastic bags are made of oil.
No, I'm not having it. Like I said, I'm really not happy about it. Anyway.
But I've told you why we should pay. You tell me why we shouldn't pay.
Because it's scandalous.
Okay, tell me why. Tell me why.
The next thing they're going to be doing is on the way to the shops, do your shopping, they're going to be charging you for the air you breathe.
Well, they're not. They're not, are they? Tell me why. You said it's scandalous.
It's free at the moment, but what you say is free at the moment, right? But what if they start charging 5p?
It's the thin end of the wedge. We're going to hell in a handcart. Darren, nice to talk to you, mate. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. 03459 455 555. But couldn't answer the question. Why should we get the bags free? Well, we've always got them for free. Well, we don't now. But it's scandalous. Why? Where is that? You tell me why we shouldn't get them for free. Okay, because it costs the shops money, and they're part of the problem. Tiny part, but they're part of the problem that this planet is running out of natural resources.
Plus, let's take it back to the first point there. We've always had them for free. No, we haven't. My nan wouldn't have. She'd have taken her own shopping bag.
Hey, and you know what? You're absolutely right. My mum back in the day, in the 70s, she had her own shopping bag. She had a few carrier bags, but she had, and I'm trying to picture it, she had...
Like a string bag?
She had a string bag, but then she upgraded to a... From the market, a plastic Harrods bag.
Sweet.
That's what she had. My mum's green Harrods bag that she thought was dead posh. It weren't. It was from some Cockney market.
But I bet it had good handles, and that's what counts.
Yeah. She had that bag. Other parts of the world. My sister-in-law, she's Swedish. She's got her own. She always carries her own bag. Whenever we've been to Sweden or wherever we've been shopping with her here, she's always got her own bag, and she unfurls her own bag and puts the shop. Over there, they think it's insane that we have so many carrier bags.
Do you know what I've got for when I go to the shop with the kids and I walk there and back?
Yeah.
A trolley.
An old woman's trolley?
Yeah.
Tartan?
No, it's like a trendy one.
Well, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
I mean, as they go. I don't care. It's not about the look of it. It's about I can put loads in it and it doesn't hurt to carry it.
You know why you think that? Because you're a mum. Every 5 years, the shopping trolley manufacturers, and they do it every 5 years, and they're brilliant at it, they manage to make they have a good go at making shopping trolleys hip. And they'll get like someone from Towie or something to be seen out with a shopping trolley and stuff like that. We're due a resurgence in the shopping trolley again, actually. It's been a while.
It's not really about the hipness. It's about the fact that I can pull it along and one kid can hold one part of the handle, the other kid can hold my other hand. And we walk.
Do you know why I've got a problem with the shopping trolley?
Go.
Because when I used to do a free newspaper round, and I was 14, there's a girl I was 13. There's a girl I really, really fancied, and I would pull the newspapers in a shopping trolley because it was easier than the bag.
Yeah.
And she saw me with the shopping trolley, and she pointed at me and laughed. And that's why, dear listener, I can never use one of those shopping trolleys ever again.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Unusually slow on the northbound M1 this morning from junction 7 up towards 10. A little unsure as to the reason why. Certainly see the queues on the cameras, but no reported any accidents or incidents. Southbound M1 is still slow in patches from 13 down towards 10, possibly because of this accident in Luton. The Dunstable Road is partially blocked off at Waller Avenue near the car dealership. That's causing a queue back onto the M1. It's really slow on the southbound A1M from Letchworth all the way down past Stevenage on the southbound side. And M25, well, anti-clockwise is slow moving between junctions 25 and 24, in fact 26 to 25 slow, and then it's slow in patches from the M1 all the way down towards the M40. The Stoke Hammond bypass, the 4146, partially blocked on the southbound side from Drayton Road down towards Linslade because of an accident. That's causing a queue from the A5. And A41, there's a broken down car just after Hemel Hempstead. It's in the northbound side, causing delays. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
James, thank you very much. This is what I've got. I've got what we should have sent Dealey out on. This is the last 15 minutes of the show, guys. What do you currently get for free that actually, thinking about it, you should probably pay for? I tell you what, whenever you go to like village fetes and things, you get a cup of tea, polystyrene cup. You should be charged for the polystyrene cup. You certainly shouldn't be throwing it away. Why can't you wash a polystyrene cup? You can. You can wash them, I tells ya. You can wash them. Stuff that you get for free that you should actually, thinking about it, probably be charged for. 03459 455 555. 8:47, the weather's coming up in a second. Before that, these are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. It's been confirmed that a large sinkhole/crown hole in St Albans was on the site of an old clay mine. A 16-year-old boy has died after being knocked down in Western Turville. And shoppers will be charged for plastic bags at large shops and supermarkets from this morning. Last 15 minutes of the show. What do you get for free that actually you probably should be charged for? 03459 455 555. The phones have gone mental on that one. Let's get the weather.
Beds, Hearts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's all changed this week in stark contrast to the lovely weather we had over the last couple of weeks. We've lost the high pressure and we're seeing the rain arriving already. It's much wetter and noticeably windier as well. Now, some patchy light rain at first, but that's going to become heavy and persistent as we head further through the day, accompanied by a strengthening southerly breeze. I suppose the only good news, if you can call it that, is the temperature is staying mild, so at least it's not cold in all this wind and rain. 18 Celsius, 64 degrees in Fahrenheit. Staying breezy overnight, lots of cloud as that rain pushes further east. Behind that rain, we're going to see some showers developing, some heavy ones, maybe a rumble of thunder in there, and these strong winds will push them through. Maximum or rather minimum temperature, not that much cooler than today's daytime. It's going to be a mild night compared to last week, 13 Celsius. For tomorrow, still some showers rumbling through, not too much in the way of brightness or sunshine between these showers, but it will get one or two drier spells. But these showers are heavy, potentially thundery and slow moving as well. The wind falls lighter tomorrow afternoon and therefore these downpours could turn a little bit more torrential. Maximum temperature 19 Celsius, and that's your forecast.
They did the wang dang, taffy apple tango.
across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is Gagan Garawal
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Morning, Peter.
Good morning.
What would you like to have a whinge about today?
Well, a whinging time saves lives.
Doesn't it just? Doesn't it? That's actually true. A whinge in time saves lives.
That's true. Anyway, about plastic bags.
Yes, boss.
The shops in...
You really got me! You really got me! You really got me! Oh, no! Oh, it's too early. So it's too early for the guitar solo. Sorry, Pete. Carry on.
Okay. When the shops introduced plastic bags, that was the shop's fault for introducing them.
It was their
We
fault
used
for
to buy
making
our
things
goods
easier?
in paper bags with handles.
Yep.
So I can't see no reason why, with our intelligence 50, 60 years on, that we can't make a bag that's firm enough to carry. I used to go and buy 5
You really got me! You really got me! Oh, no!
Oh, dear.
Sorry, Peter. I love that guitar solo. What were you saying,
I'll
mate?
tell you, I was going to say about my brain stirring the must, but I think yours has.
So hang on a minute. Are you saying that... I'm so confused, Peter, as I suspect you are on a daily basis. Are you suggesting that paying 5 pence for the carrier bags is a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing because they introduced them.
Well, no, hang on a minute. You're saying they're like a
bags.
Are you saying they're like a drug dealer that's giving the
could
first
go to a
wrap of
store.
heroin for free and now they're charging you?
You can go to a store years ago.
Yes.
And buy £5 of potatoes. They used to put it in a paper bag.
Yes.
With handles.
Right.
And that was sufficient to
The
hold
Vandals
£5
took
of
all the
potatoes.
handles.
Ordinary handles at the end of the bag.
Yes, the Vandals took the handles, according to Dylan.
I'll tell you what, your brain has turned to must, mate. I'll tell you that.
Thank you,
That's
love.
for
Say
sure.
hello to Hilda. Go on.
Hello, Hilda.
Hello there.
Has he drove you mad this morning?
He always drives me mad every morning.
I think it's the music he puts it to out of our brains.
Well,
it's the type of music he plays, I'm afraid.
That's right.
I mean, he's a nice guy, though.
Yes.
He really cares about some subjects, but he don't care about us old people much.
Hey.
And how are you, anyway?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yeah?
Yes, thank
You're
you.
keeping well?
Yes, trying to.
Yeah, well, we all do that. Just eat well, girl.
That's it.
That's for sure.
Yep, you take care now.
Yeah, you too.
Right, thank you.
Bye.
Morning, Hilda. What you got for us?
I was in Sainsbury's a few weeks ago,
Yes.
and the lady in front of me had bought a load of... And the cashier said, do you want a carrier bag, ma'am? She said, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So she gave me this and peeled off this carrier bag.
Yeah.
The lady shook it out, turned it inside out, and put all her goods inside it.
What?
So the cashier said, why did you do that, madam? He says, I'm not walking around the streets advertising Sainsbury's.
It's not the funniest gag. Is that a gag or is that a true story? Let me just go back to the source.
True story.
That's a true story. It sounded like you were telling a gag. I wouldn't open with that.
No. That's a true story.
But you can still read through the bags as they're so thin these days. You can't hold nothing.
That's true.
You could still, well... Gosh, well, that's Sainsbury's. No wonder Sainsbury's stocks have gone down in the last couple of weeks, Hilda.
Now you know why.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the call, my dear. Take care.
Bye.
Ta-ta. I wouldn't open with that one. Help me from this squeeze. got a big fat mama trying to save me. Oh, I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon, nearly just in the summertime. Morning, Celia.
Morning, Ian.
What have you got for us, my dear? Now that I've excited you with my singing, and I was singing directly, I was looking directly in your eyes. It was passion. I was being very passionate there, looking directly in your eyes, and the whole arena of 14,999 other people in the arena disappeared. It was just you and me.
Yeah.
Just you and me there. And then I took you backstage, and we peeled off our clothes and we made love.
Okay.
Sorry?
Move on.
Okay, sorry, Celia, what have you got for us?
Songs with his wang in the title.
Yes, boss, I was not expecting that. Yes, Celia, go on.
Right. It's a Northern Soul tune by the Dramatics, and it's called Inky Dinky Wang Dang Doo.
No. No, that's not real.
The Dramatics?
It is real.
Inky Dinky?
Wang Dang Doo?
Inky Dinky Wang Dang Doo.
Right, now, hang on. Are you an old Northern Soul girl?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second.
Well, I love the idea of this.
Here we go. Do you mean this one?
Oh, yeah. This is good.
Listen to that beautiful crackle. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, baby. I bet you do. Oh,
Zigzag Zoo. Slinky Slanky.
Slinky Slanky. I don't even know where. Inky Dinky Wing Wang. What is it again, Celia?
Inky Dinky Wang Dang Doo.
Guys,
get hold of that.
You know Dermot O'Leary turns out these turgid Dermot O'Leary albums where it's like his songs he's picked. Well, we're having the Iain Lee Three Counties Radio Wang album. And this is what it's called, Celia.
Put it on vinyl, though.
It's going to be on vinyl and CD, and this is what it's going to be called. And I think we can say this on the radio, but I get the engines running. Iain Lee presents Get Your Wang Out. That's what that's what we're calling it, Celia. Thank you. I mean, when Kiri phoned, it was Kiri phoned up. I'm in a pitiful state. It was shocking, really.
She's a mother as well.
Who would have thought that it would have generated 2 shows worth of... I'm going to use the word content, even though it doesn't actually apply, but 2 shows worth of content. Someone should have cleaned their stylist before they put this up on YouTube. That's all. Dearie me. Well, there we go. What a show. Have we got any texts, Catherine?
I don't know. I'm just trying to look up Inky Dinky Wang Dang Doo on vinyl. Looks like it's pretty rare. Here we go. Ant suggests instead of charging 5p for a carrier bag, shops should just stop supplying them.
Oh,
draconian.
Oh, yeah. Liking your styles.
Some helpful travel news from Dave in Sundon. Stationery from work.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. That should be free. He spelled stationery wrong. I thought he meant that he was stuck in traffic.
Okay, that's great.
Stationery from work.
Oh, stuff you're supposed to pay for.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll tell you what, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll carry that over tomorrow. Delia, you can get some magic on that, please. Stuff that you currently get for free, but actually, thinking about it, you probably should pay for. Oh, yes, all of the envelopes and the pens that we've got here. Yo, definitely.
Well, Adam in Hemel says, I always take loads of free pens and paper from hotels when we have meetings, and tea bags, and coffee sachets, and sometimes sugar.
No, this is, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's show. You're witnessing tomorrow's show being born in front of our eyes. Stuff that you currently get for free that actually you should probably pay for. Stay tuned. It'll be happening tomorrow. But right now, let's get a little bit of the trav.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Actually, still really slow on the M1 heading north from Hemel Hempstead up towards Luton at junction 10. A little unsure as to the reasons behind that. M1 southbound slow from 13 down towards Luton. In Luton, the Dunstable Road's partially blocked because of an accident that's happened by the car dealership at Waller Avenue. And the A4146, the Stoke Hammond bypass, partially blocked southbound, south of Water Eaton after a crash. There's a queue from the A5. Had reports there are long delays in Rickmansworth because of a broken down car. In fact, it's an accident on Scotts Hill, we think, causing long queues of an hour on the A412. Anti-clockwise M25, slow in patches from the M1 down towards the M40. And as for trains, no reported delays now. James Worley, BBC Three Counties Radio.
James, thank you very much. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff indeed. I can't believe how miserable it is outside. Is it? I don't know if it's raining, but it's windy. Very, very windy. Oh boy, do you know what? I'm going to enjoy. I've got a poo machine at home. She's called a dog. I'm going to enjoy taking the poo machine for a walk in this weather. Beautiful. Thank you, Shags. Thank you, Kath Deely. So good to have you back. More of this rubbish tomorrow at 6. Until then, ta-ta.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Iain. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Monday. It's 9 o'clock. And on today's Big Phone In, do you think it's time to take away some pensioners' bus passes and winter fuel allowance? The Taxpayers Alliance has told the BBC that now is the time to save money by taking away some pensioners' bus passes and winter fuel allowance. The organisation has joked that it's a good time to make the cuts, as by the next election some pensioners will have passed away and others will have forgotten which government made the cuts. But whilst the Alliance recognises some pensioners rely on the bus pass and winter fuel allowance, they argue others simply don't need it at all. Well, I want to hear from you today. Do you think it is time to take away some pensioners' bus passes and winter fuel allowance? Call me. Here's my telephone number. It's 03459 455 555.
This is the JVS show
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
You'll call in just a second, but first let's get the latest BBC News at 9 o'clock. Here's Lee Agnew.
Work will continue this morning to fill a large sinkhole which appeared in St Albans. People who live in Fontmell Close have been unable to return to their homes since the collapse last Thursday. It's been confirmed the hole is on the site of a former clay pit. Peter Hobbs from the British Geological Survey says there needs to be a wider investigation.
I can't say that there aren't chances of further holes, but I don't think there's need for panic. I think there should be investigations now to see how far the workings went, and also are there any other voids in the area.
A 16-year-old boy has been knocked down by a car and killed in Buckinghamshire. The accident happened near the rugby club in Western Turville on Saturday evening. A man from High Wycombe and 2 others are due to go on trial today, accused of an alleged beheading plot. Meanwhile, a man arrested at Luton Airport is also due to stand trial for terror offences. Carol Abercrombie has the details.
19-year-old Yusuf Shah Syed was arrested in raids 3 days before Remembrance Sunday last November. He and 2 other men are accused of plotting to carry out a beheading. Meanwhile, Yahya Rashid from Willesden is accused of helping to smuggle people into Syria and will appear at Woolwich Crown Court. He was arrested by police at Luton Airport after landing on a plane from Turkey.
Shoppers will have to pay at least 5 pence for plastic bags at supermarkets and large shops from this morning. The government hopes it will cut their use by 80%. Fintan Hastings is from the British Retail Consortium.
We've already seen a significant drop in the number of plastic bags used in England since 2006. We've gone down by about a third, so we are seeing progress. But if we want to see the major progress we've seen in the other parts of the UK, between 70 and 80% reductions, a charge seems to be the way to go based on experience there.
A disabled woman from Dunstable says the council won't install an outside plug socket so she can charge her mobility scooter. Teresa Howe is currently running an extension cable out of her flat window, but she says the council told her that plug sockets for scooters don't come into their budget.
Being in the position that I'm in, I can't move into sheltered accommodation because I'm not old enough, which would be suitable for me. So I'm stuck in the property that I'm in, and you would think that they would be willing to put in a